Press start.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Z2 podcast, where four friends are bitten by a very angry spider during their science field trip. As always, I am the goblin gliding menace, Zach.
I'm living on the edge, fighting crimes, spinning webs, Zach.
I am the rhino who doesn't really have interesting backstory, Steven.
And I am the random Dan who's only here one time.
And we have, as a very special guest, hashtag Dan the Man of the Ghoulies.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Dude, I'm so excited. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know it's.
He has talked about you having you on this show for
ever since we started.
Yeah,
I'm like, we need to have a Marvel guy, and that's Dan.
That I will gladly fill that role.
Maybe you can explain what the hell's going on anymore with them.
Oh, I kind of wish I knew, but due to my budget, I have not been keeping up that well.
I don't think you're missing much other than just a giant dumpster fire at
That's
the
what
moment.
it seems like. I actually got laughed at by a guy at Time Warp in Boulder when I asked what was good in Marvel these days.
Miss Marvel.
Champions is
That's
good.
about it.
Champions, okay.
Champions and Miss Marvel, I would
Spiders, all the spider titles.
say. Yeah, Spider-Man's still pretty good.
So, the reason why we brought Dan on, Dan and I met in college. We were English majors. We had a class together every year up until you moved to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And we would walk home together, shoot the shit about comics, hold hands, do all that gay stuff.
Lots of hand holding.
We would actually walk down the sidewalk. Steve, this is the first time you're ever hearing the story. We would walk down the sidewalk holding hands as Kayla walked behind us, not talking.
Just to make her jealous.
And just to put this into perspective, we have never done this.
I was going to say, I thought you two were married.
No.
But
No, Dan and I are just straight
For a
home.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're the begrudging
We'd be sitting in
married couple.
class. He would draw a heart that says Zach and Dan forever, and I would laugh, and Kayla would just kind of glare at me because we're
Sigh.
sitting in class and I should pay attention, but whatever. But yeah, dude,
what it is.
I am so pumped to have you here.
Me too. I'm glad.
You're such a music and movie buff, and it's so great.
I found out how much of a movie buff I am because I've been doing Geeks Who Drink trivia like every week, and I found out that I know the movie questions. I'm the movie
Nice.
guy, and that makes me so happy.
We went to one once, and there was a video game round, and we're like, oh, we fucking got this.
Nice.
Not even a chance for anyone else.
Nice.
Yeah.
you look at the table, everyone's like, what the fuck is
Okay,
that?
like-
And we're sitting there like, got this.
It's
easy.
Pokemon Red and Blue
yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, it can't be gold and silver.
That was Contra 2,
Yeah.
not the original Contra.
Yeah, it's fun too because my middle school team always goes out for Geeks Who Drink every Wednesday. Like, we're gonna go this week after our soccer game, and I've come to be the movie and sci-fi guy.
Nice.
I can't do shit on the radio questions. Like, anything that's related to music, I'm like, nope. I'm not
Who's
sure.
popular right now?
Is
I
that
don't
Demi
know.
Lovato? Is she still relevant?
Dude, all the pop questions like about Ed Sheeran and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just
they-
like,
they'll do like the audio rounds, and we're just like, I don't know, just put down Bruno Mars.
It's
I
probably
only get those
Maroon
because half of
5,
my
I don't
job is
know.
listening to the radio now. I was like, I know this, but I'm not happy that I know this.
What do you do?
It's pretty much like at the gym.
I drive around a lot and more like deal with copy machines, so I'm in the car like
okay.
3/4 of the day.
It's
And
like
I
when we go
always
to the
forget my
gym,
iPod.
me and Zach's gym, it's like, all right, they have the pretty much like the latest hits rolling out on the gym radio. So it's like, all right, that's relevant right
Okay,
now.
did you
Got
know
it.
OK Go is still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're only a thing for their music videos.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Yeah,
that's
once
the
a
thing.
year
This was
they're
the
like,
first time
hey,
I've
there's
seen
a
a
new
music video.
OK Go music video.
It was
And
them dicking around on a plane.
yeah, with the parabola
The
gravity
Vomit
thing.
Comet.
Yeah. But man, I have no idea what's going on in that scene anymore. I'm just waiting for stuff to come to Denver too, music wise.
Yeah.
Ghoulies, are you doing anything?
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm booking a summer tour out to California.
Nice.
Working on new material. Nothing like in the pipe yet. Another album's quite a ways away, but
How does that all work? Do you like get a group of bands together and say, "Hey, do you want to go on a tour?" Or is it like, "All right, these guys are looking for an extra extra group to go with them"?
sometimes you can do like a dual band tour, and some people even try to book like 3 bands on a tour at once. I've never done that. I have a gigantic Google Doc with like bars and people to talk to in every state, like west of the Mississippi.
Damn.
And so it'll say like Southern California, like Los Angeles, San Diego, like Alameda, shit like that, and just
Yeah.
have like a million bars and stuff. And I just start sending like emails. I probably send 50 emails for like one show that you get, but you just like figure out sort of where you want to go, and then like I look at other bands that I know or that I like and where they played, and I'll hit those places up and talk to like friends and bands in California and Tempe and stuff like that.
Okay.
And just build it out from there.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's awesome. You guys play like once a month down in Denver. at this
Probably
point.
more than that, actually.
Yeah.
We're playing like every 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I keep seeing it pop up on my Facebook. I'm like, it's a
Should go
Friday. I just
sometime.
got so freaking tired.
Yeah,
From
I know it's
school.
not for everybody, but it's
Screw
fun
you, Dad.
sometimes. So.
Yeah, I would love to go. Like I caught you guys once or twice, like back up in Greeley.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, before that's back when you were still on base.
Yeah, true. I'm still on base sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So to go on, I can't stop gushing over my man crush. I'm sorry, guys, but
It's been so long since you last seen him.
Do you
I
guys
know.
need a room?
dude.
Work things
Give
out
us
real quick.
10
It's public. I'm into it. So this week, Deadline has reported that DC is going to put up a web service, and the first two things that are going to be coming onto this web service is Young Justice Season 3
Called Outsiders.
and a Titans TV show written by Jeff Johns.
Okay, web service makes a lot more sense in the notes. Because all I see is DC Wii service.
We service.
Like, are we servicing DC now?
I hope so. So this
You,
is,
the fan.
So this is a DC branded service that will debut in 2018. So no Young Justice until next year, with Titans
Years half
from
over.
Greg Berlanti, Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Johns, Sarah Schechter, and Warner Bros. TV, and then Young Justice Outsiders, which is going to be about the Young Justice gang.
Picking up where
Yeah,
we left
taking
off.
it's gonna be, where is it? It's a come of age. I don't know. In Young Justice Outsiders, the teenage superheroes of the DC universe come of age in an animated world of superpowers, supervillains, and super secrets. In the new season, the team faces its greatest challenge as it takes on metahuman trafficking and the terrifying threat it creates for a society caught in the crossfire of genetic arms race spanning the globe and the galaxy. So it really does seem like it picks up off after the whole season of The Reach.
Yeah.
But
I appreciate Young Justice so much for delving into these like complex topics as their main plot.
I gotta
It's like-
admit, I haven't seen it yet.
It's one of the best
on Netflix.
animated shows in like recent years, in my opinion.
Yeah, I went through a phase where I was like, cartoons are for kids, and so I didn't watch any of those. But I've been rewatching Justice League Unlimited with my comic books class with
Yeah,
a
it's
bunch
very
of
much
sixth graders.
that route.
And so I was
Dude, I
like,
teach
"Maybe
comic
we should
books
give that a
class right
shot."
now too.
I assume you watched the original Teen Titans.
I did. Yeah.
It's very similar in tone to that.
Cool.
Like there's still light humor and every now and again, but they delve into some deep shit.
They get deep quickly.
What was it? My Spectacular Spider-Man that you borrowed back in college.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Same writer.
oh, cool.
And
the series.
so the Young Justice Aquaman that they use, Calderon, that was
The original iteration.
Yeah, that was the original iteration, and now they're using him in the comics
Oh, sick.
as one of the Aqua lads.
Cool.
Yeah, and it literally, there's like a cast of like 60 characters. They just keep adding more and more. So like the latest season, we had Dick Grayson as Nightwing after like a 5-year time skip. Tim Drake is there. Jason Todd is dead.
Barbara's there
Sweet.
as
Like
Batgirl.
the entire Bat family is there. There's Wally, there's Bart. You know, we have Barry running around still. And it's like really cool because it brings like this whole, you know, age classic thing of DC of like they're a family. They have superhero teams. They work together. Superboy, and then originally like Weissman said like after Young Justice season 2 got canceled, that Supergirl was going to make an appearance finally. And then there's other characters he really wants to use, like Stephanie Brown appeared.
Cool.
So we were eventually going to get a spoiler eventually. Like it was just like
It's just such a well written and well designed show.
Sweet.
Like you start like the episode that always like that finally sold it to me was in season 1 called Failsafe.
Okay.
That made me realize that this is more than just a kid show. Like this is some heavy duty, like really well done writing for an animated show.
Yeah, and like the following episode was them in therapy. Like Superboy is going off doing, and he's fighting like the intergang with the Forever People. So we got some Jack Kirby stuff. Like it's really a love letter to like all of DC, and then everyone else is like, yeah, there's
we
some
saw some
fucked
shit.
up shit. I never want to be Batman, and I did something Batman did, and like, oh, Dick Grayson, no,
Man.
you're only 13 right now. Let's hug you.
So they're doing a Titans show too?
Yeah, there's gonna be a live action Titans TV show.
Oh, it's live
From Berlanti, who does like
Are you sure?
Arrow.
I thought
and
it was gonna be
Flash.
animated.
No, I'm pretty sure it's live action because they're reviving the show that was going to be on TNT.
Yeah, it's a live-action Titans was originally ordered as a pilot by Warner Bros. For TNT in 2014. The regime change at TNT put the project in limbo and ultimately did not go forward. WB-TV and DC then brought Titans under the purview of Berlanti, who oversees all 4 of the DC superhero drama series, and
The
as
Arrow,
well as
Flash,
Constantine, Legends,
those ones? Yeah, okay.
and Supergirl.
So the Berlanti lie continues.
Yeah, and we're going to have Goldsman and Johns, who co-wrote the Flash pilot, Jeff Johns. He's doing a lot of writing for it, and on Twitter he teases
He's
like,
the hand
well,
of God.
Time to start writing something new today, and like posted a picture of like his issue 1 of Titans back when he was on the comic, like post Identity Crisis or Infinite Crisis, I think. And then he hashtagged it Beast Boy, so we at least know one character that's going to be in the show.
Nice.
So it's such a good time to be a nerd.
Yeah,
like
it's a great time.
So I asked the question is, when will every show on TV eventually just be a superhero show? Because they're slowly taking over the world.
It's like the 90s all over again, but it's all live action now. It's so cool. Like, I'm so into it, even though I haven't been keeping up on Arrow and Flash as much.
Yeah. I have a theory, though, that eventually, like, we're going to get a little tired of it, and then the quality's going to decline.
That's
and
what I
then
keep
it's all
thinking.
going to collapse.
That was season 4 of Arrow.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt about, like, Legends. Like, okay, this is kind of like a team-up villain of the week show. And then they actually go into, like, some
And then
heavier stuff in
then
season
it was
2.
the Hawks and Friends in season 1. And then
I think that they're gonna have to start getting more creative with the plot lines they use. Like I think they're gonna start running out of. We've already seen very similar plot lines with Flash and Arrow.
3 seasons of speedster villains.
hey,
Yeah.
season 4, no speedster villain confirmed.
Hopefully.
Savitar gonna kill Iris.
Savitar's identity is going to be revealed next week. Ooh.
I already have my theory of who it is.
Future Barry.
No.
Damn. Did he see his, like, really disgusting wig?
Yeah.
There was some comments somebody saw. I was
The
like,
emo wig and
He looks
how-
like Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man
Yeah.
3.
yeah, like Black Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Like, who let Grant Gustin borrow his wig?
But, like,
Wow.
essentially we are in, like, this really weird renaissance because, again, Riverdale is CW's, like, biggest fucking hit right now. Like,
Yeah.
everyone watches it.
Yeah, when they announced that, I was like, what the fuck? And then it came out, and I was like, no way, this is going to be good. And then everyone's like, wow, what a great show. And I was like,
really?
yeah,
Archie?
like, seriously? People care about Archie? And it's
We
not
used to have a segment of,
1970?
like, Archie in 5 minutes or less.
Wow.
Like, we just recap the episode.
And I don't watch
And then we
Archie,
fell
so it's
behind.
more of like, all right, what the hell is happening in this show?
It's going to come out on Netflix, like, the week after the final episode airs. And I'm so excited to rewatch all
CW
of
and
it.
Netflix
I'm
have their deal.
still trying to get through Always Sunny.
But it's like everything on CW right now is dominated by, like, comic books or fantasy tropes. Like, you have the vampire shows, Vampire Diaries, True Blood. I think one of those is over. Then
True Blood wasn't on CW.
okay,
It was the Vampire Diaries and I think
True
the
Blood's
originals.
on HBO, I think.
and I think
Yeah, it was on
Vampire
HBO, and that
Diaries is
ended a few years
ending,
ago.
and then they're gonna do a modern remake of The Lost Boys, like that '80s vampire show or movie. And then we have iZombie, all the
iZombie's so
superhero
good.
shows, Riverdale, and it's like
Man.
people
That's
are
just
really
within
into,
the CW.
Yeah, people are really into like all these new classic, like not even classic things, but all these different experiences, I would say, because like, Preacher's on AMC, Legion was on Fox, and people are like, these are the best things I've ever seen. I'm like, wow, Preacher's been out for ages though.
And then HBO has amazing stuff now. Like they've always had good, like those are really good and dark, gritty shows.
Yeah.
But it's like now they're just like they're trying to fill in that void for Game of Thrones. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, Westworld worked out. What now?
But thanks to the writer's strike, we may see a resurgence of like
Reality TV.
Reality TV.
Yeah.
Please God no.
It's
That's what
gonna
got us The
happen.
Apprentice.
It's gonna happen.
That's what
I-
started everything.
I really want. Well, there's like a show that had Rickety Cricket from Always Sunny on it, and it's like a Big Brother type situation. There's like 12 people living in a house, and
The Mole.
no,
Is it The Mole?
It's
The
not
Mole
the Mole.
was fantastic.
But it's a show where
that is a reality show I could be hired
everyone was an
coming back.
actor except for one person.
Yeah, that's The Mole.
Is it? Oh.
No.
Yeah. Or wait, you're thinking of like the reverse of the mole.
Yeah.
Because the mole is like they had the one person
Who was there
planted.
to sabotage everything?
Yeah, and in the whole plot of the show was trying to figure out who the hell the mole was.
And then it got
but they
super-
never revealed it at the beginning.
Yeah, and it got super convoluted. Is like you could have easily figured it out if you. I think one of the clues was like they had someone. The mole was being carried away in an ambulance because they had heat stroke or something, and they put a sound clip in the siren of the ambulance. It's like if you heard that sound clip, then you would know it has something to do with a baby. And who's the only one who has a baby? This guy. Like, who?
The Joe Schmo Show.
Oh, I remember that show.
The series is broadcast in the U.S. The show's premise is that a target person or persons are led to believe that they are contestants on a reality television show. In all reality, all the other participants in the show are actors, and their actions and outcome are purported of the purported show are all scripted in an attempt to elicit comedic reactions from the targets.
Wow.
It only got 2 seasons.
Did you ever watch the Onion's reality show in air quotes
I didn't
called
even know that was a
Sex
thing.
House?
Didn't even know that was a thing.
It was fucking great. It was like 8 or 10 minute webisodes, I think. And the premise of the show was like it was some VH1 like degenerate reality
Yeah.
show where like they just put
all
a bunch of
fake-
people
all
into a
fake
house and like
celebrities.
fuck. But like I mean, it's all scripted because it's the
Yeah.
Onion. But like by episode 2, you realize something's like really weird, and by episode 3 and 4, like all the food in the house is gone, and like all the windows are fake, and they're like, "I think we're underground or on a ship or something." It was really great.
Reminds me of
Like
like
watching the breakdown happen.
Stranger Hood.
Oh, yeah, Stranger.
You all wake up in one place. It's like a TV show made in like Sims 2 engine, and they're all like tropes of like the hot one,
Yeah.
you know, kind of like that. And then they all discover they're in like some reality simulation called the Stranger Hood. Wow, it's so stupid.
It made on Sims 2.
Yeah.
Sick.
Then season 2 came out on Sims 4 after
everybody wanted it, and then
Yeah.
they're like, "Why do you want this?"
it was around the time when Rooster Teeth made their movie Laser Team, and for the $1 million stretch goal was Stranger Hood season 2.
Nice.
And it's like, well, shit, we fundraised $1 million. We have to make this stupid thing now. It was like the most universally disliked biggest joke kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it became a meme that's like, yeah, Stranger Hood season 2, let's go.
Very cool. I'll have to check that out.
There was another thing. They did another like kind of stretch goal not really crowdfunding, but they have their pretty much their sponsorship program called First, and they did a week of like they had all this extra programming to like kind of showcase like, oh, this is what you get with if you sign up with First, because you get all this exclusive content. And one of the stretch goals was we'll release this drunk reading of a script from Red vs. Blue season 14. And they keep saying like, why do you want this? The reason we didn't put it out is because we thought it was crap. And now we have to edit this damn thing and put it out.
Because we want it.
Fan
never,
communities.
Yeah, never doubt your fan communities. They will reach those goals.
Yeah. Man.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of other like video things, James Mangold has just screened Logan in black and white this coming month in May. So it's kind of like the same thing that George Miller did with
Mad Max.
like a complete black and white version of the film.
See, I don't know how that would really work with Mad Max, since part of it was the whole colorization of it.
No, the Mad Max version.
It's a
Have you
silent
seen
film,
it?
isn't
No,
it?
I haven't.
It's on Vimeo under George Miller's thing. It's completely silent and it's all black and white.
That's weird.
It's a whole different experience.
That's really bizarre, since the whole movie like relies on its soundtrack and the coloring.
Yeah,
they
it
did.
really like forces you to like accept these characters in a different way. Like watching Furiosa on the ground screaming in the sand was like, oh man, this is like brutal.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
So is
interesting.
Logan just black and white?
Yeah, it's just Logan in black and white.
That seems kind of like I'm gonna skip
cash
that one.
grab.
Yeah, it seems like we need a little more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to again really dive heavy into that whole old school Western trope that they really perpetuated throughout that movie.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how I feel about it entirely.
It just seems kind of pointless, and who the hell is going
Yeah,
there?
the cool thing about Mad Max, I watched like a 10-minute video about their re-editing of the colors and stuff, and how they like spent hours and hours on the chrome and crap.
Shiny and chrome.
Yeah.
But like, oh come on. Sorry, Amber Alert.
Yep, I got that too.
I
Fuck
didn't.
missing kids.
You heard it here
But
first.
I don't know. This just seems like they black and white, grayscale it.
Yeah.
And we're like, give us $10 more.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll wait till the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
But
If it was like black and white and it was a director's cut, like sure,
Yeah,
because then that's
something
a little bit of a different experience.
Or even if they did Sin City'd it with red blood or something, I thought
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool. But
That'd be great. I'd watch that. Pretty neat.
oh, now I got the
Oh, there it
Emperor.
is. Now you're in the loop.
So if anyone notices a 2012 white Toyota Tundra
2 days
with
later.
Shell
That's
Co.
me.
plate
giving me-
RDQ126 in Denver,
I
we're not
just-
even in Denver.
I
No.
just looked at the Amber Alert. Stop giving
Is
it
it
to
a new
me
one?
again. It's the exact same one. That
Damn.
it just gave it to me.
More
twice.
missing kids. Bruce Wayne's on his way, everyone.
That Toyota Tundra just picked up another kid. Just going down the street, scooping them up.
Oh god.
Black hair, blue eyed children. Come, Robin. My name's not Robin now, it is.
Come with me, Timothy. My name's
But-
Johnny. Not anymore.
Um,
You're Tim.
Here's
Drake.
this bow staff.
it's really interesting to see like
Show me your hacker
these.
skills.
Again, we kind of troped into like the lines of like people are into the comic books and pop culture and everything. You know, talking to our comic book shop owner, he says like every time a big superhero movie comes out, they come in the store and ask, okay, what do I read to get some of these new things? And like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy #1 launches next week just in time for the movie. So
Oh,
people are
okay.
What
going
a
to go over.
coincidence.
Yeah.
Fucking canceling Star Wars for it. Yeah. Still
They
bitter.
didn't cancel Star Lord for it. Star Lord just had low sales.
Yeah, of course.
And then they're like, we can go back to the Guardians now.
did they have like a bunch of Guardians books? Like, wasn't there a Star Lord book? And
They
Yeah.
still have a
book and
Groot
Rocket
and
book?
Rocket book coming out, which is
like,
weird.
everyone
There's-
got their own series, and then when those didn't sell, they're like, let's just get them back together.
Yeah.
Except Rocket and Groot, they're good.
CJ Punk, the
CM Punk.
CM Punk, the MMA fighter, was writing a Drax series that was actually really cool. And then, so like this week, Guardians of the Galaxy #1 relaunches. The original team who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy is coming back to do another solo series with them,
Is
like
it
their
the same
modern
team as the
incarnation.
movie team, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is kind of a bummer, in a sense.
No Mantis. Well, we could have Mantis now.
Yes, I love Mantis.
Had an aneurysm when he saw the first trailer.
Yeah, he started like smacking me. He's like, "Look, it's Mantis."
Like,
No
we're, like,
one cares but me.
we're watching it, and all you hear is,
We're
it's
in
Mantis.
public.
It's Mantis.
We're in public eating pho. There's no one else in the restaurant, and I'm just like, no one cares but me. I love the B-list characters.
Yeah.
Like I said, Animal Man and his jean jacket for Justice League 2. Let's do it.
Nice. Yeah.
But,
Not gonna
uh,
happen, but
It's not gonna. It'll never happen. But one of the things that came out this week too is that Freaky Deaky Fox came out with their 2018 release dates, and they said, "All right, X-Men: Dark Phoenix is coming out, Deadpool 2 is coming out, and New Mutants is coming out." So not really any shocking news at all, but we're still in this like perpetual release of superhero movies, and I'm just kind of wondering. You know, you're a big X-Men guy. How do you think they should do Dark Phoenix?
I think they should not do Dark Phoenix. I'm kind of bored with Phoenix.
But
Like,
X-Men 3 did it so well.
yeah, I
How
feel
could you ever
like
top that.
we got a lot of Phoenix in the first 3 movies, and I just don't really care to see it again. I also thought Sophie Turner, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. I thought she was like a meh
Yeah.
Jean Grey. And so I'm excited to see New Mutants and Deadpool 2, but I'd rather see an X-Force movie or some, I don't know.
I mean, it
some
seems like
other
they're kind of
storyline.
gearing up for X-Force with Deadpool too, because
Yeah.
they're adding Domino to it. Cable's gonna be in it. You already have half the team there.
Yeah.
Just give me like the Fraction team for X-Force. That'd be amazing.
I want to see a Remender team
Yeah.
because that is my all-time favorite.
Yeah. I don't think Fraction ever wrote X-Force.
I don't think he did.
I think he wrote X-Men. I don't know. But like, you know, I would honestly probably kidnap a child. Just saying. I'm kidding. I would love to see. I would do something extreme to
Do
see.
you have the Toyota Tundra?
No, I don't.
You just get a new car.
Surprise, Dan! You have a brand new car with 2 missing children.
And
Okay, we're
license
gonna
plate
stop.
number.
We're gonna stop. But it would be awesome to see like an actual, you know, Black Ops styled X-Men movie, kind of like, you know, that first 10 minutes of Wolverine
Yeah, I was
Origins.
gonna say X-Men Origins where Deadpool was actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they decided to say, fuck everything you know about Deadpool. Here's this random thing with its mouth sewn shut.
But
And
he
he
had
shoots laser
laser
beams.
beams.
He had laser eyes and like Baraka blades coming out of him.
That's the best part.
I found out recently that wasn't even Ryan Reynolds playing.
Nope.
No?
No, I
They
was
just,
like,
do they just makeup.
I guess so. Like low rent, sort of Ryan Reynolds looking stunt double guy. Like
Probably.
that made
Ray
it
Parks?
even worse for
Like,
me.
I wonder if they told him like, here's what we're gonna do with Deadpool.
You have no
like,
lines.
I'm out now.
Yeah, I am kind of like bored on the Phoenix thing, but I really don't want Phoenix to be like this innate thing inside of Jean Grey. I want the giant firebird from the Shi'ar Empire just chilling. Like, I really want a giant space bird. That's all I want. That's all I want.
There's, in one of the X-Men movies, you'll see a giant space bird flying through the sky.
I'm an X-Men purist. I really want to see the giant flaming bird, and then I want to see the X-Men travel into space.
Just out of nowhere, there's a scene of a bird flying through
Zach
space
gets his
with
wish.
Zach on it.
Yes!
I wonder if we're ever going to get Kitty Pryde in the new X-Men.
She could be in New Mutants, hopefully.
Yeah, there could be.
I know that's not her, like, generational team. I think she was, like, an all-new person.
Yeah.
But
but-
they don't really care about the.
They don't.
Like
No.
They killed Archangel off. Who cares?
they're pretty
They
much
killed
just
him
like.
off like a little bitch, and I hated that.
They killed him
Yeah.
off.
I really
And
want
then
them to do
Psylocke
Archangel
just
well
got
too.
walked
Because
away.
it's really
Exactly.
cool. And
I love
X3
Archangel.
fucked him up, and
Yeah.
what was it? Apocalypse.
Yeah.
fucked
Yeah.
him up. Yeah,
Like, you have Archangel, and he goes down in a plane crash.
yeah.
Was
makes
that really
sense.
what happened?
Yeah.
He
He got stuck in the plane.
Yeah, he was fighting Nightcrawler in the plane, and then
Nightcrawler was in that movie?
Yeah,
God, how
that's the
long
whole
has
reason
it been?
Angel became Archangel is because Nightcrawler fucked up his wings.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
Nightcrawler and Jean and Jubilee hang out at the mall in like a
Yeah.
deleted
Okay.
scene that was
What-
really should have been
yeah,
deleted.
but they pulled out a record that said Dazzler
Dazzler.
on it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was hoping Taylor
Easter egg.
Swift because she and James
She has the
McAvoy
look, but-
were dating at the time.
Oh wow.
Who hasn't she dated yet at this point?
Waiting.
Yet.
Taylor, if you're listening.
Waiting. Taylor Swift, if
If
you're
this
listening,
reaches you.
my 5.5-year relationship down the drain.
Just for
You
you
and
to
I.
write a song about me later.
Yeah. Doing a whole album about me. Talk about my comic collection and how much you hate my hoarding. But
Yeah, no, Archangel went down like a little bitch, and I'm upset about it.
yeah,
And
but they
Psylocke
could
was
bring
just
him
kinda
back.
there.
Psylocke could come back too.
Psylocke swung her sword around and then ran away.
She just existed. She
Yeah,
didn't really
Betsy
do
Braddock,
much.
man.
Yeah. I can't remember a single line of hers.
I can't
Like,
either.
Olivia Munn is the perfect person, like just physically. She's like, yeah, sort of Asian. She can kick ass like that, and then like, she wasn't character.
She didn't
Yeah,
say
she-
it like anything.
I can't remember a single line. All I knew is that she started out as Caliban's little helper,
Yeah.
and then went to Apocalypse.
Hang on, I'm looking at movie quotes. I'll read a few.
All five.
Wait, Caliban the Tracker?
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
in that movie?
Yeah. He was in the
I don't remember that at all.
Fuck, when it-
In like the
who was
sewer
them?
scene or something? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
it?
where
Yeah, like,
Apocalypse wanted to recruit mutants.
Was
He
it
still he was
Stephen
talking
Merchant?
Yeah. It was still Stephen
God.
Merchant.
It wasn't Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, it was.
No
Yeah, it was.
way.
Or not Stephen Merchant. Yeah, it was the same guy.
Same guy.
Man, I don't remember
That's
that
why
at
everyone's like,
all.
"Oh, Logan's like in the future of the new X-Men universe," and they're like, "No, it's not." But we still have the same guys doing the same roles.
Caliban.
Okay, god damn.
Is that the one where
He was
Magneto
still-
had a kid in that movie too, right? That controlled animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was when they showed Magneto his downfall and him killing all those.
Yeah, the bow and
Oh,
arrow that was like the weakest shot that should never have pierced a single
Yeah.
person, let
Let
alone
alone
two.
two.
people. Like, he had a very loose pullback, dropped, and you could see the arrow kind of curve down, and yet somehow flew straight enough and with enough power to pierce two people and kill them.
I think the reason why I don't remember that movie. No, it was Thomas Lemarquis who was
Did
Caliban
Kevin really?
in
Oh.
Apocalypse. But one of the reasons why I
Looked
didn't
very
like that
similar.
movie
Yeah.
as much is that it wasn't like the teenage mutants were not like all happy-go-lucky. Like Scott was an asshole, Jean was an asshole, Jubilee was awesome, best character in that damn movie. And then they kill off Alex, and I'm like, okay, that was a waste.
I mean, not necessarily dead, just not found. He could be alive under the rubble, and then they built the school on top of him. So he's sitting in like a little underground room that no one can get to. Like, guys,
Help.
help.
but let's think about it like this:
Still
if they
here.
eventually do the if they do Giant Space Bird with the Shi'ar Empire, this opens up to the third Summers brother, not the third Scott, but this also opens up to like a Starjammers movie, so they could essentially have their own version of Guardians of the Galaxy with little teenage Scott Summers shooting eye beams at people.
So if you made the movie, you wouldn't call it the Phoenix Saga, you call it the Giant Space Bird Saga.
Yes, That's all the Phoenix is. Giant space bird. Freaking
Of pure destruction.
what was it, Fraction?
No.
Or Remender, who split the Phoenix Force up, and then we had AVX.
I don't think it was Remender, but
Might have been Jason Aaron too. I'm trying to
It
think
might have
like
been
the
Jason
three
Aaron.
writers.
I don't think it was Fraction because I think at the time he was only doing Hawkeye.
I think he was doing Iron Man at that point.
Fraction?
No,
No, I
that
think he
was
started
Kieran
out
Gillen.
with that was I don't even know.
I don't know. I
Here,
should
we
stop
have
talking.
Google.
More
Why
Google
the fuck
searching.
do we not
I
use
used
this?
Bing.
That Fraction.
Because you're thirsty for those Bing rewards.
Dude, every 2 months I can
Da,
get
da,
a
da,
$5
da.
Amazon gift card.
Let's see.
It was
Hawkeye, Fear Itself.
Bendis, Fraction, Jason Aaron, Ed Brubaker, and Jonathan Hickman,
Wow. Okay.
who all worked on the AVX crossover.
Yep.
Hey, I got 2 out of the 5.
Nice.
I don't know. Okay, yeah.
Our Cyclops was an even bigger.
Oh, he wrote the Fear Itself. Fraction wrote the Fear Itself tie-in for
Okay.
Iron Man.
But look,
I did
Scott
like some
Summers
Iron
was
Man.
right. The Inhumans did screw over the mutants pretty hard.
Still a dick.
That was Emma Frost like dead puppeting his
Yeah.
body around.
Before that, still a dick.
Fair game.
But he was a dick before he died.
He's always been a dick.
He's a
though.
very good
Not
middle
always.
ground.
About the 70s is when he became a dick. Before that, he was like a Boy Scout.
I don't know if any of you guys read Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, but so Peter and Mary Jane are married. They have a kid. They go to Xavier's mansion.
Wait, is this radioactive spider jizz?
No,
No, that was an old thing.
that was Spider-Man Reign. But they have a kid and they go to the X mansion and everyone's in like their 90s costume from like the animated show and
my God.
everything. And Logan and Jean Grey have a kid and Scott Summers is like, Professor X just does what he wants. There are no repercussions. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. Professor X is a bigger dick than Magneto sometimes.
Man, Professor X is such a jerk.
Okay, kitty.
Yeah. Have
But-
you guys ever watched Co-optitude with Felicia Day and her brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan? Have you seen their thing about how much of a square Cyclops is?
He is.
About his loafers have tassels and his khakis have pleats, and he loves Prairie Home Companion.
I haven't seen
stuff
that
like
one.
It's really fun. They're so accurate about it.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
He's just
Not kind of, he is a dick. Like, full on asshole.
But he's like, look, the Phoenix Force can bring back Jean Grey.
Look, I'll abandon my wife for no reason except I'm a little upset right now.
Then I'm
She
gonna
was
go
a
fight
clone,
the
technically.
Inhumans.
Then I'm gonna go fuck Emma Frost. Like, easy there, champ.
Still better than Emma Frost wearing like the giant X helmet currently. That's twisted.
Is that,
Was Emma Frost and Scott
Yeah.
Summers married in House of M in the
Yes.
alternate reality?
I think so.
I can't remember if they were.
Because that's essentially the perfect world and everyone got what they wanted.
Yep, except Logan. He knew it was all fucked up. That was a good plot line.
Yeah, I loved it. So also this week we got at C2E2 there is a teaser, like a revival proof of concept or a proof of concept of Tim Seeley's revival. And again, this kind of goes along the lines of like slowly more and more of our media is becoming this different modality of comic books. And like, oh, we have this giant image series. We finally got like the Invincible movie rolling finally. And Kirkman's like, I couldn't think of a better team than, you know, the two guys who always write the stoner movies. And, you know, we're slowly moving towards this fashion. And I'm like, you know, again, it's that you guys were joking, like how much of our TV is finally going to become superheroes. Like I'm still waiting on the Wicked and Divine TV show or like sex criminals on TV.
See, I think the image series lend way better to TV just because, one, they're all, for the most part, unique ideas.
Yeah.
And they're not stuck to that superhero genre. Like, Sex Criminals is a romantic sex comedy. Like, that would work really well with TV.
Stars or
Yeah, if
something.
Masters
yeah.
of Sex,
Yeah.
It would
Can
have
come
to
out.
be like HBO or maybe Skinamax.
Oh, absolutely.
it's on CW.
They would have to.
New
That
from
would,
CW, sex criminals.
that would just ruin the show. That would just ruin it.
No, it's going to be on Freeform.
It is a drama. I mean, you're not
right,
wrong.
Right after Cloak and Dagger, sex criminals.
It just like, you know, jerk one off and then the giant hentai monster comes out.
I like
It's
that Freeform thinks it's like super edgy.
Yeah,
it's
like we're
not
so
even close.
dramatic and
Secret
deep.
Life of American
Here's
Teenager, but with
Cloak and Dagger.
superheroes. But yeah, more
We
and
brought you Kyle XY, the guy without a belly button and no memories.
Oh God.
Like, calm yourself
I
there. Your
forgot that
ABC
was a
family.
show.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past.
But like again, like, you know, you're saying Image lends itself better to TV shows. Eventually Game of Thrones is going to end. Eventually the rest world is going to end. Saga on HBO.
Oh, my
yes,
God,
please,
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 do
please.
it.
Game of Thrones will
Fucking
never
do
end.
it.
They'll hit their season, then they'll do a prequel series.
But
Sky's
Saga.
the limit with the prequel series.
I don't know. That would lend itself so well. Like, you're pretty much taking, all right, we have our sci-fi show with Westworld, and we have Game of Thrones, our fantasy show. Combine them together, you already have Saga there.
We need to go to space.
That would be awesome.
I feel like that would do really well.
Yeah, and we're not saying that because we're gigantic fanboys.
Well, no, I think of it like it's this unique idea that a lot of people are probably gonna see show up on HBO and they're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This seems cool. I'll watch this.
Saga? What? And then they go to Barnes and Noble and they see like the giant thing of Hazel sucking on her mom's tit.
Yeah.
That's the most awkward
The
cover
first
ever.
image of the whole book is, or the first line is, "Am I shitting? It feels like I'm shitting."
We were at
Like,
Barnes and Noble.
solid.
I'm like, this is one of my favorite graphic novels ever. And I open the first page and it's Prince Robot jerking it. I'm like,
Oh,
this isn't
neat.
why I like it, but this
Well,
is
yeah,
a
'cause
really
you-
good
this is
series.
important.
You're trying to
his-
sell it to Joe, and you're like, man, I love this book, and you're flipping through, and then there's
Oh,
just
yeah.
one frame of a very veiny penis. You're like-
Thanks, Fiona
Like,
Staples.
such a good series.
Well, it's like the next page is like Princess Robot giving birth. And it's like, okay, I don't really need to see a head coming or a TV coming out of a vagina.
TV crowning.
Yeah.
But like, you're right. You know, Game of Thrones is kind of like the hard fantasy, and then we have Westworld as a sci-fi. You can only go to space at that point, or go to hell. Constantine on HBO instead of doing like the animated series.
But we still need to get Samurai World.
Oh yeah. Is that season 2?
We don't know.
so.
I don't think I think they said they're not done with the Western.
It's actually
Yeah,
season 3 of
series.
Heroes. Just they're redoing it.
That was like the craziest shit during that episode. Like, do you remember when you played Portal for the first time and you get to the last level and it was like, oh my god? It was like that just
It's
continuous.
just
like,
and even freaking May is just like, what is this? Yeah, there's a lot to explain.
yeah.
What do you mean everyone's a robot? Damn it! Spoilers. Not everyone's a robot.
That's like
That was a
45
that was a
minutes into the first
fan theory
episode.
for a while. It's like everybody's a robot. That's why the worker. I mean, it's a good way to control your workforce. It's like, that's an interesting thought.
It's kind of like the theory that if you go through a teleporter, like the original you is just
Oh, yeah.
broken down completely,
Is it
and then
the
you're just
original you?
recloned when
I
you come
have
out the other
argued
side.
with Grace about that for like hours about how I would never teleport myself, and she's like, "Why not?" And oh god,
You're being broken down at a fundamental atom level.
yeah, because
I
I
feel like
fucking
it'd be
and
died.
then
painful.
reassembled, quote unquote.
There's like a short story that like this person teleports and like along the way they get cloned, and then the clone goes to their destination, and then that person has to work at a slave labor camp in Antarctica.
Oh god.
I can't remember who it was by, but it's like something like very Vonnegut like.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's like, yeah, dude, I don't trust teleporting.
Yeah. It would be cool to have the ability to like Nightcrawler teleport, but not sci-fi teleport.
Yeah, not Star Trek teleport.
I'm all for like driving cars still. That's like, I just don't want to drive ever again.
I mean, self-driving. Oh, you said self-driving. I
Yeah.
thall you said I'm all about driving cars. I'm like,
I'm all about driving cars. I don't want to drive cars.
Favorite
I want
thing to do.
What I really want is like a man-sized drone where I could just strap in, and then someone just drives me to work every day. Like
want the
they have
Hyperloop.
like an RC thing. It's hooked up to their cell phone. It's like, all right, time to move this bastard all the way to work. Just fly you.
Be cute.
I want the Hyperloop.
The Hyperloop.
Yeah.
Is that the
Freaking-
super fast magnetic train?
Yeah, or not the magnet train, but like you're in a capsule and it just launches. It's
Oh,
pretty.
like
it's
Futurama?
like it's like yeah, it's pretty much Futurama, but it's all compressed air. Like
yeah.
it's super compressed. Like
Aren't they building one of those in Japan or something?
I think
Probably.
so. There's
Elon
there's like
Musk,
some
maybe.
prototype in the works. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's something technologically advanced, Japan's probably got a prototype
Or Elon
somewhere.
Musk. Elon Musk or Japan at this point.
Have I ever told you guys like the best thing I think would be to go to a gym in Japan because they probably have like anime girls telling you how to work out and they'll cheer
job,
you on as
senpai.
you do it. Like, oh, puppet! She's just dancing. Like, yeah, lift those weights. Like as great it is
New
to
Max.
have Zach with me when I go lifting, but I feel like just having an anime
Fucking
girl,
waifu there.
yeah, just like anime girl, like, yeah, great job.
You've got this. One more set, sir.
4 more sets. I redid A 4 more sets. Anything for you?
I can't believe you've done all those. Oh,
It's the dream. That is my dream.
that's an interesting dream.
Well, you know Hatsune Miku's already like this giant star, and you have the gorilla. So why can't I have like an individualized thing as like a workout companion?
You can type in your name. And it'll
You
call
know that already
Zaxxon.
exists though.
Huh?
The little alarm clock. That
Oh yeah,
texts
the,
you.
Oh.
the little alarm clock.
The
waifu?
thing you could text.
God.
Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
No.
Oh,
Thank God I haven't.
It's like
It's the most
essentially
Japan thing ever.
They make a hologram of a girl and like an alarm clock, and you hook it up to your phone. So it's essentially like
She's your waifu. you
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
it's your
all day
waifu,
long.
where
It's an
you'll-
actual waifu.
you'll,
But
you'll
she'll
be at
text
work
you.
and it'll text you like, "Oh, I can't wait till you get home."
Oh,
It's like,
God.
and then you get home. It's like, "Oh, welcome home. I miss you so much."
I'll be
Like,
home in 5 minutes,
no.
and then in 5 minutes, it'll turn all the lights on for you.
Turn the
It's-
lights on, get the
wow.
heat turned up, and
It's
Man.
it's
like
the most
I
Japan
could
thing
take
in the
that
world.
kind of AI companion if it wasn't like the waifu style of it,
Yeah,
where
that's
it'll
super
text me
creepy.
and say, "I can't wait for you to get to home." It's like,
But we've already
no.
seen the Disney movie Smart House. We know how this is going to turn out. It's gonna find a body, become self-aware, and trap us in the house.
Is that like a 1997 Disney
something
Channel?
like
movie?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
one of the Disney Channel.
now
home
now
movies.
it's like, okay, Google,
What-
search for this. I can't do
you
that.
son of a bitch! You activated my phone.
Okay, Google Lumos.
What search for this guy on phone?
I knew that was gonna happen.
We need mine
ju-
didn't go off.
I've talked about this before, but we need like a standard code word for all those voice activated devices.
Yeah.
It's just that all right, we all know what it means,
Well, like
but
how
we
I've
don't
heard
say
of
the
my-
actual thing.
My Xbox has the X word because any mention of the word Xbox would activate the Kinect and then interrupt everything you're doing.
That's my favorite part. You're watching something live, and it's like, yeah, I hate it when it say Xbox turn off. Yes, and it's like, fucking asshole, just turn off my Xbox from like thousands of miles away.
But like that asshole on the news story who was talking about how a kid ordered
Oh, a dollhouse.
dollhouse with the Amazon Echo, and he said on TV, it's like, yeah, and the child just said the simple phrase, "Alexa, order me a dollhouse," and like 10,000 people had dollhouses ordered for them and had to go cancel it through Amazon.
fuck.
Wow.
Like, you need to pick a name that people are not gonna say. Like Cortana,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Siri,
A standardized
Alexa
phrase.
is pretty on the dot, and then the Echo and Amazon.
Well, now it's even getting more complicated because Amazon lets you choose which one you want. You have like 4 options now.
See, I think like going out in public and saying donkey porn, order me this, and people realize it's like, oh yeah, that
Oh,
dude
yeah.
has AI.
Okay, okay.
Weird that he went with donkey porn, but all right, I respect it. Not
How
a common
often-
phrase.
Yeah, no one's gonna be
Exactly. How
going around.
often is someone gonna say donkey porn?
You suddenly realize your mistake once you start hearing it in bubble. It's like,
Have you
oh
emailed?
shit.
Have you emailed Amazon that idea?
No, not yet.
I want royalties.
Yeah, you make a lot
Not
of
a
money on
lot, just
patent.
a little bit.
Instead of the Amazon dot, it's just an Amazon donkey.
It's shaped like a donkey.
You just poke it.
Amazon butt plug.
Oh god.
It's always around you. It's always
Oh,
aware of what you
wasn't
want.
there a Kickstarter of that, like the Bluetooth enabled?
Okay, that's what
Oh,
that's what
God.
led Tim to being
Oh, yeah, that's
known as
right.
the butt plug enthusiast.
That's right.
We have a
Blu-
friend.
A Bluetooth butt plug.
Yes.
Butt
Okay,
plug
got it.
enthusiast.
He's known across like 3 or 4 different podcasts now, and in public we call him the butt plug enthusiast, because
BP.
there's another competing podcast. Not even competing. We're friends with this other podcast, and they talk about like dildos and stuff for, like the first half hour of their show. We usually do ours in like the middle, and
Yeah, it usually comes around
Tim
to
would
it.
send them stuff all the time, and one of them was like this Bluetooth butt plug that you can change the vibration settings. It could go to like a beat of music or something.
Wow.
And then after that, they lost. It's like, all right, he's a butt plug enthusiast. And like we had him on our show, and then John just turns, is like, yeah, he's the butt plug guy. I'm like, what butt plug guy? What are you talking about? It's like, oh, you gotta listen to this episode.
And
You'll
from
know.
that day forward.
It will never die.
Man,
Yeah, it's
that's
a
a
whole
thing to be. Butt plug enthusiast.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of accepted it at
comic
this
book
point.
connoisseur. And that's kind of my thing. The teacher, feeding the homeless, coaching soccer, and other things. But man, I'm so glad I'm not the butt plug enthusiast.
'Cause that's the one that would trump everything. Like, you could be the perfect saint of a person, but then butt plug enthusiast.
You could be the Pope.
You don't know.
Yeah. Like, man, do you know the Pope's a butt plug enthusiast?
For all we
Boom,
know.
Ruined.
Yeah, we don't know.
Pope
We don't know
Francis
what
is
he's
the
like.
man. That would just make him even better.
Yeah,
That would
Pope
make
Francis
butt
is the
plugs
best.
like the norm.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pope's cool with it, so that's all right, I guess.
Oh man, popes and butt plugs. I'm such a bad Catholic.
Oh man.
I didn't expect to talk about that today.
No.
You sure?
Popes and
You
butt plugs.
never expect it, but
It's like the Spanish
But it
Inquisition.
happens.
butt plugs find a way.
Yeah.
Just like life.
Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
And Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
in Jurassic World 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
He has to say clever girl once.
But he
Otherwise,
never, but
it's
he
failed.
doesn't say clever girl in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. It's the Australian gamekeeper who's hunting the raptors, and you see one raptor poke its head through, and he says in an Australian accent, "Clever girl," and dies. He's clever girl, not Jeff Goldblum.
Why does everybody
That's why
associate with that Jeff?
It's a
with Jeff
Mandela
Goldblum?
effect.
Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum is Life Finds a Way or Chaos Theory.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just one of those memorable quotes you're gonna
Yeah.
attribute to someone else. Like freaking Anakin Skywalker in Phantom Menace. He never says "That's so wizard." That's one of his asshole friends.
So wizard.
I thought that was a Robot Chicken thing too.
Yeah,
until
I
I
did-
I thought it
rewatched
was
the
too,
Phantom
and yeah.
Menace.
Huh.
Then Greedo's there. With
Yeah, no.
fucking dick.
To Dan's point, he's right. It is the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
That happens way too much with pop culture. Like the famous Empire Strikes Back line. It's always, "No, I am your father," not "Luke, I am your father."
I
Or,
just love that subreddit. Just when I'm feeling bored, I go on there and watch the people be
Just have
so
an
adamant
existential
that,
crisis.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I think that is such a white boy position that like, no, I'm not wrong. I changed universes. Like, no way in hell
No.
I could remember incorrectly.
Have you looked up "I Am So Smart"?
Yes, I love that subreddit. Every subreddit I subscribe to is just like feel good about myself, laugh at other people. I actually hate Reddit. Why am I on Reddit? Kind of subreddits.
Yeah.
like
That's
that.
what
So,
reality television became to me. Is
Yeah.
I watch this to feel better about myself as a person.
Yeah.
Because these people are terrible.
It's petty, but it gets me.
Not
through
the
day.
onion. Not the onion's hit or miss. Like sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's freaking hilarious that that happened," and other times like, "Oh,
It's
oh
too
no, that happened."
That's why I'm a big fan of Always Sunny, because I'm just like so straight edge that everything they do on Always Sunny is like, oh dear God, I couldn't even imagine.
Just some like the scenes where they're interacting with people actually makes me cringe sometimes, even though I know it's a scene. I'm just like, God, if you ever ran into those people
Let's
in
be
actual real
realtors.
life,
They can get arrested for that.
not even that, just the way they act around people, it's like that's the most uncomfortable thing you would ever witness in public if you ever saw that.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of like the Nightman Cometh, when Charlie proposes at the
Yeah.
end
Yeah. And you,
in
like,
front of
it-
this huge crowd.
If you were anyone else in that theater, you'd be like, ooh, no.
I mean, it was a bunch of
no.
old elderly people. I don't think they give a shit.
But if you were a normal person in that theater and this actually happened, you'd like, I'm going to go outside because this is awkward.
I would have killed myself just right after. Just, I'm done. Goodbye, world. And speaking of worlds going goodbye, Zach,
days.
what happened this week?
the goddamn cosmic treadmill's
You
back.
mean the Cosmic Treadmill?
The cosmic treadmill.
So, have you been keeping up on any of the Rebirth stuff?
Not really, no. I
Okay.
just know that it's like better than the new 52 or something.
Oh, it's
But leaps
miles
generally,
better.
Okay.
The terrible thing about Rebirth is that everything is good, and I want to buy everything,
Okay, man.
but I
That's
can't.
a good problem to have.
Yeah,
I
I like.
Yeah.
I need to
You
back
have to pick
off.
and choose.
Okay.
So at the end of Rebirth, or at the beginning of Rebirth, Wally West,
Mm-hmm.
Ginger Wally, came back and he embedded like the Watchmen button into the wall.
Oh yeah, I heard there's like a crossover between Batman
There's a-
and Watchmen, and
Yeah, they
Ki-
pretty much.
This is what the
they've-
button is.
They've pretty
essentially.
much taken Watchmen and made Dr. Manhattan's like, oh, he's the one who created the New 52 as his own like his little own play universe.
I thought they already like said that it was some other guy.
There's
was, like,
Ozymandias.
theory.
Ozymandias
There's
is
Mr.
in there.
Oz, who everyone thinks is Ozymandias.
There's
who's
some guy
been
that showed up in
around.
like the back of every New
That was
52
Pandora.
number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Pandora,
Yeah,
but
and
she
Pandora's
disappears.
the one. No, she didn't disappear. She died.
She
She got
gets
blown up.
killed. She gets killed in a blue mist, just like the way
okay.
Dr. Manhattan kills people.
Yeah, and if you put like Watchmen up side by side with DC Rebirth in that 9-panel grid, it's the same exact way Rorschach died.
Okay.
Like down to the poses, down to the words, verbatim.
Damn.
So a lot of people are like, holy shit, because every like big tease about Rebirth keeps cutting to like Mars, which we know Dr. Manhattan goes to at the end of Watchmen, and then Mr. Oz is sitting there from like Superman issue 35 being like, I trained you, Clark, you're better than this. And then he keeps watching the universe on these giant television screens.
Yeah, and Wally West, like when he comes back in Rebirth, he's like 10 years were taken from us, which is why a lot of things weren't in the New 52. This is their explanation for it.
Okay. Wally
And-
wasn't even in the new 52.
Nope.
Was he?
Nope.
No,
Okay, that's what I
This-
thought.
this-
Before
and he
the
explains
whole
he's like,
time.
I've been trapped in the time stream, and there's this hand that caused all this, and I'm the only one who remembers.
It's like a hand
So-
came out and ripped away all of our memories.
Like sort of flashpointy.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
they,
the thing.
they play on Flash. They pretty much went back into the Flashpoint universe now in this latest issue of the Flash.
God,
It's
I'm
like
getting confused.
It's super. It's Jeff John's longest con because Flashpoint came out in what 2005, 2007 or something.
2010.
Okay, so yeah, 7 years, a 7-year long con for this storyline.
man.
Yeah, so like last week, a giant lightning bolt hit Eobarthon while he was in prison, and he came back out. Like he ditched his new 52 appearance and looked like his regular, yellow costume.
Okay.
And then he just beats the shit out of Batman, tears up his father's letter that Bruce got at the end of Flashpoint.
like in the most asshole way possible.
Yeah, and then he picks up the Watchmen button, disappears in a blue light, reappears like mere seconds later, just saying, "I saw God," and then died.
Yeah, and then
Like,
all of his skin gets burned off,
Yeah,
and he's
he's-
just a skeleton.
No skin, shriveled up. Just like, I saw God. Like,
And then what? And then Barry shows up to this like, what the fuck happened?
yeah, he's like, sorry, I'm a little late. And you're like, a lot happened in those 10 seconds,
fuck I
Barry.
miss?
A lot happened.
the way the Batman the fight goes down is it's literally over the span of a minute, and each panel is a second.
So 60 panels.
So yeah, there's
Yeah,
60 panels, and when it gets down to like, because Barry says like, "Oh, I will be there in exactly a minute."
Okay.
Bruce is like, "Okay." He hears something,
He hears a
flash.
speedster
Yeah,
come
here's the
behind him.
speedster come up behind him. He's like, "Wow, the Flash is actually on time or ahead of schedule for once."
Okay.
And then he gets beat up by a Reverse Flash.
And you didn't even say the coolest part.
Oh yeah, and then when it gets down to 11 seconds, Reverse Flash is like, "Oh, this is it. I'm gonna kill you now." And Bruce just goes, "All I need is 11 seconds," because
and
he
then
knows
Barry
that.
doesn't show up.
Yeah, Barry doesn't show up after the 11 seconds. He's just sitting there like, in
It's the
true
most
Batman
badass
fashion.
one-liner, but he still gets his
Overtime.
ass
Well,
kicked.
no. During that entire fight, again, if you lay out Watchmen side by side with Batman,
Yeah, it does the
21,
9-panel thing too.
It's the 9-panel thing, but the top row of Reverse Flash is holding Bruce up, and then Bruce spits in his face is the exact scene that comedian spits in Ozymandias's face. So again, it's like the Watchmen parallels are so close. But the really cool thing, you're excited about your cosmic treadmill.
Yeah, because the reason I like the cosmic treadmill is like they could have gone with literally anything to explain how they navigate the time stream.
Okay.
What do they fucking use? What does a speedster need? A goddamn treadmill that can span the universe.
Is that like okay? It's been a while since I read Flashpoint. Isn't that how Flash gets back
Yep,
to the main?
that's how he
universe?
gets back,
Okay.
which is why they need the cosmic treadmill again.
So it's really cool because in Batman 21, we see Saturn Girl locked up in prison.
Okay.
And she's like, the Legion is doomed. The Legion will fall. Because
This is how he dies.
yeah, this is how we die. And then in Flash this week, it's a scene with Johnny Thunderbolt being like, Thunderbolt, come back to me. Strike me. Tell me how to save them. The Justice Society needs to return. And everyone's like, holy shit. And Barry's sitting there. Like, the art's beautiful because Howard Porter does like this really cool ribbon effect on the Flash.
Cool.
So it shows him standing still, and then it's like this red kind of ribbon blur thing to his next point. And at one point he's sitting there, it's like, I don't know what it was, but when I saw that lightning, I saw this like Mercury's helmet, and it just brought me comfort. And everyone's like, oh, motherfucking Jay Garrick, the Justice Society's coming back. So it's like Tom King and Joshua Williamson are doing so much work to like tease the Society and the Legion to finally come back to the main universe.
So they're like bringing back a bunch of Golden Age characters.
Yeah,
We're bringing
or-
a bunch of shit back at this point.
man.
It's really cool.
And we haven't even gotten to the big, like, we haven't even gone back to the main plot line for a while of, like, all right, what is Ozymandias' true goal if this is, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it is probably Ozymandias. But, like, is
Okay.
he the actual villain, or is Dr. Manhattan the villain? Or is Dr. Manhattan just playing God, and he's just omniscient the whole time? He's just there. And everyone thinks, like, oh, that's got to be who he is because he just killed Reverse Flash out of nothing.
So Barry and Bruce go on the cosmic treadmill. You know, Bruce is just like hanging on by a batarang. And they appear in the Flashpoint universe. And Bruce is like, this cave, that gun. I've never collected that gun. And then you see a voice go,
turn.
I did this all for you. And it's Thomas Wayne. And it's like, oh, what the fuck?
Dude, I cried at the end of Flashpoint when like
Yeah.
Thomas like gives it off.
Yeah,
to
when Bruce reads the letter,
It's
and
so
you're like,
fucking sad.
"Oh."
Yeah.
Bruce does have a heart.
I'm gonna have to check this out because I heard some reviews where they were like, "Batman's in a shitty Watchmen crossover," and
Was it
I
the-
didn't
was
know
that the
anything
AV
about
Club
it. Was the
article?
AV
Fuck
Club?
that
Yeah.
article.
God.
Fuck that thing.
That was a
That was
whole
the most
tirade for
pretentious
me.
thing I've read in a
Yeah.
while.
A
Okay.
whole tirade.
Yeah, I was gonna bring you something, but
Yeah.
I was gonna bring you like a copy of Rebirth, but I couldn't find them.
Okay. I'll check them out. I've been getting a lot of trades.
Everyone
recently,
thinks it
so-
like they think they're DC's like defiling Alan Moore's work by this. I'm
Alan
like,
Moore-
Watchmen
Alan
have been
Moore
shit.
probably thinks that too.
I mean, he
'cause
thinks a lot of things about DC.
Yeah,
like he hasn't
he's
worked with them.
opinionated.
When you're like a
years.
90-year-old wizard, you have a lot of opinions. When you
Yeah.
serve with King Arthur in his royal court, you get pissed off really easily.
Okay, hold on. I want to take a pause here. How long ago was King Arthur's court, would you say? Because you just said 90-year-old wizard.
Okay.
Was King Arthur in 1927?
But that serves my point of Alan Moore just being old as fuck and
Okay.
grouchy.
Because you go from 90-year-old to Merlin. When was King
Can we cut
Arthur's
out like
court?
the 90-year-old thing and just leave the King Arthur thing? You just cut that out.
take it out in post.
I honestly
Yeah.
think Alan Moore doesn't give a shit at all. He's like,
Well, it's
all
like
right,
he sold all
this
the
is my
rights
work.
to his characters. He doesn't even want anything to.
Yeah.
Didn't he regret that though? Didn't he say he did that when he was like young and impressionable and wishes he could take that back?
It's
or
probably
something?
like
Probably.
Stan Lee syndrome, where Stan Lee sold all his characters and like, I fucked up. I could have made a lot more money off of this. And
I wouldn't
now
have
he
had
gets
these-
cameos
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Did you hear that James Gunn's essentially confirmed that Stan Lee in
cameo
every
theory.
movie is the
Yeah.
same Stan Lee?
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, and I think like the more advanced theory is like he is the Watcher.
That'd be kinda cool.
Just in the form of Stan Lee.
It's insane.
That'd be kind of ridiculous.
Like that's what the whole Phase 4 is going to lead up to, is Stan Lee as the Watcher.
Yeah, if you ever go to a Time Warp, just ask to go get a copy of Rebirth.
Okay.
It's 80 pages, and it's like essentially what rebooted this entire thing. And like DC has been killing it. Like there's hasn't been one book I haven't liked, which
Okay.
sucks terribly for my wallet.
Because after I moved to Florida, I didn't have a good comic shop for a long time, and so I kind of gave up on a lot of books, and then so I was totally lost on the New 52, and then they dropped that and did Rebirth, and I was like, I don't even fucking know anymore.
Yeah, so Rebirth is just a continuation of everything that happened in the New 52.
Okay.
It's a good
Just a
jumping
new
off
brand.
point.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's like a resetting for like everybody's on the same starting point again.
Okay.
That's where I got back onto comics, was Rebirth, and it's like, well, I know what's going on now, so
Sweet.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's like, all right, everything in the New 52 did happen. Just now we're here with this whole. All right, now it's explaining like, okay, the Watchmen are involved in the overall DC universe now.
Okay.
Except the button disappeared. So they went to the Flashpoint universe to figure out where it came from, supposedly.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Cool.
the next issue is delayed a week, so
damn it.
Yay.
it's a big bummer. But holy crap, dude. So,
Okay. Wow.
The button is great.
I got a lot to think
yeah.
about.
All right. So, Dan, now that we're done talking about the news and shooting shit, and we skipped dildo talk this week, I'm really sorry.
I know you're
So-
very sad.
We did sneak a little butt plug in there.
Yeah, we did sneak butt plugs in.
We got it.
So
Thank
each
God.
week we kind of do like a round table thing where we have a general discussion question, and my discussion question involves prop. So I got you this comic book, Superman, American Alien by Max Landis.
Thank
and
you.
It's
a bunch
amazing.
of different artists. I literally want to buy every single person I know a copy of that comic
Yeah.
because it's just so fucking good.
Awesome.
So the cool thing about American Alien, it's, you know, Max Landis' take on Superman. This character is a little bit weaker. He's a little more human. And, you know, he saw his mom and pa Kent. It shows him like from a kid all the way to him starting as Superman with the final fight against Lobo.
Okay.
Each issue is done by a different artist. Each issue has a different bird name and everything. Like, I've been trying to sell Zach this book. Like, you need to fucking read this.
Like
Holy shit,
I
it's the
listened to a
best Superman
podcast
story
that
ever.
had Max Landis talk about like his thought process behind the whole book, and that pretty much sold it to me. I was like, that is
Okay.
the coolest freaking idea ever.
So
It sounds kind of like Superman for all seasons.
yeah, that's what it really reminded me of. So my discussion question this week is: tomorrow, you wake up with the powers of Superman. What do you do? What is the next step for Dan?
Fly a lot of places, first of all, just because that's really cool. I guess the first thing that kind of comes to mind is Superman Peace on Earth, that like really short Alex Ross book where he's just like trying to save everybody in crap. That's just really nice. I don't know. I guess I try to use my powers for good or something.
But you got to think, like, the government, any government that sees that, like, what the fuck? There's a freaking super powered human now.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do with that?
I would wear glasses because I don't already wear glasses, so that's my disguise.
I guess I'd take off my glasses.
Well, you'd have perfect sight by that point, right?
Non-prescription
theory.
glasses
Yeah, that's
from a
true. Yeah.
Halloween store.
So like it's kind of like the idea, and this is always what fascinated me about Superman is that this character is always innately good, no matter except for like the Earth 3 version with Ultraman, but even like
Or
the,
Injustice Universe with
yeah.
Dictator Superman.
But even like Nazi Superman from like back in Multiversity,
Yeah.
Red
He
Sun
even had a
Superman.
moral conscience.
he had a moral
like,
code,
this
he had a
isn't
moral
right.
conscience.
Superman.
And like he was a good person. Like the whole concentration camps and everything happened after he landed or before he landed, so he never was there for that whole realm of the World War II. And like and you learn that secretly he was the one telling like the freedom fighters all of Hitler's secrets, like where to attack, when to attack. And even though he got his own Justice Society killed, he did it in favor of giving freedom to everyone because that was the right thing to do. And I'm like, God, if I was Superman, I don't know if I would have that moral compass so strong. Like, I have a lot of guilt on my life. I have the Catholic guilt, I have the Asian guilt, I have responsibility and great power and all that bullshit. But like, I would use it to like become famous in some way, like record YouTube video, kind of like Claire in Heroes. I'd just jump off tall buildings and like just get up and it's like, you're watching Fear Factor.
Speaking of Nazi Superman, did you guys hear about Superman versus the KKK?
Yes.
Movie?
What?
It's so like the synopsis that I read. I guess this is already a book that's out. But
It was
in
a radio drama.
Okay. In like the 40s or 50s or 60s, sometime long ago, Superman's creators were kind of implementing like clan-ish characters into the storyline for him to fight and kind of cementing Superman as like an anti-racist character and things like that. And they're making a movie called Superman versus the KKK that's like about the backstory behind all of that. It just sounded super cool.
That does sound
Yeah,
really
essentially, I actually read about this on Reddit, but it was like around that time before this radio drama came out, the KKK had like more publicity and larger like drama, like and eventually when the Superman thing came out, people were like, oh, the KKK is a bad thing, and like they slowly lost members. And
Well, it's like that thing in Preacher, the scene that you want to see so much with the self-aware Klansman.
yeah, he just says the N-word all the time. Hey guys, you're ready to lynch some N-words? And it's like, oh my god,
Jeez.
Like,
I really want to see
why
that
do we always have
movie
to
played out.
talk about lynching
This is from Comic Book Resources. The film is a planned adaptation of the Rick Bowers 2012 book Superman vs. the Ku Klux Klan, the true story of how the iconic superhero battled the Men of Hate, which tells the story behind the 1946 radio play that pitted the Man of Steel against a hate group much like the KKK. The play was made possible by human rights activist Stetson Kennedy, who infiltrated the KKK and subsequently applied their Anti-Defamation League and play's producer with the key details about the group's inner workings.
So the next story is going to be Superman like brainwashed by Mxyzptlk. He's going to join the KKK. Oh
God.
And
I just want
it's
to
up
see
to everyone
people
else to defeat
go
the
to that
secret
movie
empire.
and be like, Superman's not even in this.
Yeah, I think that would be a really cool documentary to watch.
Superman was the idea of against hate.
Superman was inside of us
Was
all
all
along.
along.
That's my favorite part about this cover for American Alien. The trade is like all these people wearing a Superman shirt, and in the middle is Clark just going shh. It's just such a cool little thing because you should get to see like Superman's growing popularity, and then Max Landis is going to follow up with it with Superman, Agent of Batman. Like he realizes he can't just punch things to solve his problem, so he goes to Batman to train, and then he fights Diana and gets like his ass whooped by her because she's an actual warrior.
Man.
But Zach, what about you? You wake up with the powers of Superman.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I would be so terrified of what's like. All right, I got to figure out how strong I actually am. So I'd start doing the training montage of like, all right, testing my limits.
Are you gonna bench press trains like
I
in
would bench press. I
Incredibles?
would go find it like a freaking container. Just start benching all of them. Like yeah, you got to start there. Figure out all right, what are my limits? How much do I have to hold back in just normal everyday life? And then probably dick around, fly into space or whatnot, see if I could do that.
So speaking of like testing your limits, you know, trying to figure out your powers, I would try if I innately knew I had the powers of Superman, I would try to see like which golden age powers I had. If I threw my cape, would it like
Do I have frost breath?
wrap around someone? Can I shoot? Again, my favorite power is Superman shooting little Superman out of his hands.
Can I kiss somebody and make them forget things?
God.
Can I time travel by going around the world really
Yeah,
fast?
can I reverse the spin of the Earth to go back in time? Stupidest fucking thing ever.
That would
Superman
like
has done.
ruin our
Oh yeah,
environment.
it would destroy the world as a world.
So I'm gonna become a YouTube star. Zach's gonna be responsible. Dan's gonna save people. What about you, Steve?
I just fuck around for the most part.
Yeah.
Like again, the flying thing is like if I could fly, like yeah, I'm gonna go fly for a whole day. I'm gonna call in sick to work first because I'm responsible like that.
Something about
And-
great power and great responsibility.
Yeah.
There you go, Steve.
And then I think I figure out the limitations, see how far I could throw shit. Like grab a baseball, I'm just like, I wonder, into space. Like, neat.
I would honestly once I figure out once I figure out those limits, maybe try to go to these conflicts and like secretly try to like just small things, like try to prevent like people getting killed and stuff. But
I would
The
also
JFK
go and take the
assassination.
like
gold
try to like
in every single
create
Olympic
the
event.
myth of this superhuman, but never fully reveal
What
myself.
you could do is do that secret identity thing, and then write comics based on yourself. Captain Carrot does that.
Oh my
Of
God.
the Animalverse in DC. Like he works as a freaking writer for the Daily Carrot and writes stories about himself. It's amazing.
It's kind of like the Spider-Man thing of taking pictures of yourself.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'd go and get gold medal in every single Olympic event. No one would know I have the powers of Superman. I just do a
It's
little,
like
little
the,
baby shot put in
It's like the
farthest
it's like the
distance.
Incredibles where Dash at the end.
Yeah, it's like,
he's
like
in
go
the race,
fast.
like,
Slow down,
"No,
slow down.
no."
Okay, speed up a little bit. There you go. Second place is good.
Yeah, I would train to be like the next Michael Phelps, like the fatter version of him, and just swim. And people are like, God, he's so fast. He's like a manatee.
Well, yeah, and that's it. When I take gold in every event, I'm like, God, this guy can do everything. Let's give him the Wheaties box.
And then they drug test you. It's like, well, no, he's on it. He's
we
clean.
can't get the needle in his
clean.
skin. He's an alien.
It's like I'd rub a little kryptonite on there, be like, try it now.
Yeah, just carry a tiny little sliver in like a lead box.
Yeah,
It's like, why do you always wear that locket? I just need to remember how human I actually am.
And take it off and run every event. It's like, yeah, gold medal, thank you.
Like I said, I think being a YouTube star would be amazing. Like, you know, this week I'm gonna get hit by a train.
And the train's gonna
See, and
get
until
hurt.
people debunk them, it looks like the most legit videos ever. It's like, wow, the editing on this is incredible.
It's like really advanced CGI. It's like, I'm gonna jump this train. Oh God, he does like squats for days. And then I can like install a training regimen and people can copy my workout and then I'll make millions. It'll be best.
Said it all comes down to money.
And then public speaker. Dude, I'm a teacher. You don't understand.
I do understand.
Yeah,
It's all
you-
about the money. Make those millions.
yeah.
dollar bills.
I would actually go save people too, by the way. I would not just become a YouTube sensation.
You think winning gold at the Olympics wouldn't save things?
Post saving people on
Miracle
your
on
Snapchat.
ice, okay? That's all I have to say is the miracle on ice.
I would go
We
to-
saved war.
I would go
between
to
the
like
US
one of
and the
those
USSR by one
abandoned
hockey goal.
abandoned like Olympic training centers and turn those into hotels or something for the homeless.
Or if you really want to go like the full social media star, give me 1,000 likes and I'll go over to Syria and go stop this conflict. All right, I got him. I'm gonna go do that.
That was pretty much the plot of Kick-Ass, isn't it? Like, social
Yeah,
media
pretty
star,
much.
superhero.
Or I think my favorite thing would be to crap. No, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it, Zach. Curse you. Out heat vision Zach in the middle of the podcast. But it's like, you know, to see an actual everyday superhero, like, you know, you have a bunch of actual people that like, yeah, I'm the Batman of this city because, you know, I'm gonna go visit children in hospitals and be a good person. I'm like, man, I would love to do that. But I don't have enough money to do that.
I don't have I don't know even what the word is, the cojones to like patrol shit. Like, what was the guy in like Portland or something who was like an everyday superhero.
Oh,
He
yeah.
carried like a nightstick and like
Yeah.
patrolled neighborhoods or
He
something.
was essentially like Kick-Ass, where
Yeah.
he just an everyday guy dressed up as a superhero and would patrol the streets to help make the city safe.
And he got arrested for domestic violence
Probably.
or something. It was, like,
Probably.
terribly
Either
sad.
that or vigilantism or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that.
See, I would be Superman and then dress up as Batman and just perpetuate the myth. That's the thing.
I mean, they did do a
Create a Green
comic
Lantern.
story about that.
Create a
where-
Green Lantern costume.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool.
It's like the Green Lanterns exist.
That's it.
Look.
I couldn't do a Green Arrow because I break the bow and arrow.
Oh.
It's like baby drop back, like, got it.
God damn it! Again.
Boxing glove arrow would take someone's head off.
See, if I woke up
Like,
with a,
oh, you broke his neck with that one arrow.
if I woke up with a lantern ring, it would probably be like rage or fear. Like I'd wake up in the morning, vomit blood,
Yeah.
go to work.
You would vomit lava.
It's just like straight up like acid blood. You know, go to work. It's like, oh, I don't want to walk to the copier. Just red lantern ring, my paper's over. It's the dream.
Oh man.
Yeah.
One of your kids talks back. You're like, yeah, you really want to do this? You
Just
want
lift them up.
It's like,
This-
are you sure you don't want to read your book right now?
Again, I would create a YouTube personality, and it would be like the most advanced CGI ever in the world. And it's like, holy crap, this guy is amazing.
The
How
whole
does he
thing,
do
you
it?
gotta set up the like whole idea that this is all editing to make it seem even more legit. So yeah, this is my setup. This is how we do everything.
Here's a crane. Here's some wires. Here's the other crane.
So you have to like film everything like twice. It's like here's me just without the CGI, and
It's
then
like
here's
behind-
with CGI.
Behind the scenes, like, like, see, isn't that good?
Right?
You would use the red lantern ring to like create all of that construction equipment too.
Like, why is all of your stuff glowing red? Don't worry about it.
Red lanterns can't actually make constructs though. Only the humans can. Like Rancor was the first lantern to make constructs, and then Guy. And I think Dexstar licked Rancor's blood, and then he was able to make constructs.
Oh, Dexstar.
Angriest cat in the world, man.
He's
I
gonna be
love
in
in Green
Injustice too.
Lanterns. Is that a freaking cat?
Yeah.
And then just proceeds to kick its ass.
Who makes a cat a Green Lantern or a Red Lantern?
We need a box of Green Lantern.
Dude, Box is the best character. Shut your goddamn mouth.
I mean, to be fair, if a cat were to have any lantern power, I feel Rage would be the one.
Well, no, they
Rage or Greed?
They go over his origin in
And
Darkest
Green
Night.
Lantern.
Darkest Night, right?
But if you were to just take any ordinary cat and they were to have a lantern power, it would probably be red.
Or Gallo.
or compassion,
Fear.
I think. I think compassion.
You're a cat person.
Yeah, I am
so
a
you're
cat
That's
person.
a
biased.
Yeah.
generous view of cats.
Yeah.
To me, cats are Satan's house pet. Because I have yet to meet
Badly
a good
treated
cat.
cats, yes.
I
See,
have yet to meet a good cat.
I'm gonna show you some good
They're
cats.
all assholes that I've met.
you can go to Zach's barn and see his
There's
9
10
cats.
cats in my parents' house.
To be fair, I'm also the guy who hates chickens with a fiery passion.
I think
Yeah, I'm
chickens
not a
would
fan- I'm
be.
not a
They
fan of
have a
chickens.
group mentality and no one realizes it.
Mob
Open your
mentality.
eyes, people. Group mentality. They'll take us all down.
It's horrifying.
Zach, what's your topic?
So since we brought Dan the Man on, and he is a big
Hashtag
yeah,
Dan the Man.
hashtag Dan the Man,
Get
excuse
it
me.
right.
And he's a big music guy. I figured we'd have a music topic this week.
Okay.
So my whole idea is, so when you're growing up, like you get impressions of like certain genres, like, or like you go into like a certain like mentality of like, oh, I'm a punk guy, so I'm only gonna listen to punk.
Yeah.
And my whole thing, my
Are you
topic
daft?
is, I'm not daft.
Boo.
Say it with an English
Boo on
accent.
you.
I
my
tried.
my whole idea is, what was like the one group or band that kind of made you change your idea on a certain genre and made you like actually appreciate it?
Ooh, I guess there's a couple. You're right about the punk thing. I was like a total straight edge.
Yeah, I think this is
punker
something that
douchebag
everybody
in
does.
high school.
We all saw the Facebook photos.
Oh, yeah.
You've all seen them.
Oh god.
We've all listened to 3 Days Grace at one point.
So growing up, I hated electronic music because in high school I was like, that's not real music. That's just pushing buttons. But sort of due to like the movie Drive, it was like a Euro trash soundtrack, but it was really cool. Like Kavinsky and Com Trues are 2 electronic artists, like synthwave sort of groups, not really groups, solo guys. that I think are pretty cool. And John Carpenter, the director, like he did an album called Lost Themes, where it's just him like composing what totally could be themes from his movies from the 70s and 80s. And that was awesome because it's like incredibly retro, and I love that about it. But yeah, there's that. I don't know. I hated metal for a long time. I think just because I hated metal guys at my high school, because they were all either like huge like I don't know, just kind of jock guys, or like the really douchey metalcore
really
dudes.
pretentious.
Yeah,
like, that's not real.
like with
metal.
gigantic tunnel plugs and stuff. But then when I was like 19, I was like, I should probably listen to Black Sabbath or something. And I went to Black and Red in Arvada, which is like a great record store. It's Jello Biafra's favorite record store. And I had done some research on Wikipedia, and I was like, do you have volume 4? So I hear it's like a great record. And the guy goes, we don't have volume 4, but we do have Sabotage. And I was like, okay, is that like a good one? And he goes, if you're ready for volume 4, you're ready for Sabotage. And I was like, okay. And I went home and I listened to that, and that got me stuck on Sabbath. And now Sabbath
I was gonna say,
God
like,
and
when I
shit.
met you and your brother, you guys were like big, like AC/DC Sabbath.
Oh, it's
dudes.
always AC/DC.
Yeah.
AC/DC's the shit.
But
Steve won free tickets to go see him.
oh yeah, my brother paid like $200 for like 80th row seats, and then they did this thing that was like Thunder Over the Rockies on Instagram. So you like take a picture of yourself with your ticket, and it's like hashtag Thunder Over the Rockies. They pick someone to get front row seats, and he got picked. So he saw them from the front row, and he got like 20,000 likes on their Instagram and shit, and I was so incredibly jealous. But yeah,
It was a school night.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I didn't go with you.
Still an amazing show.
yeah,
Couldn't hear much afterwards.
yeah.
Always wear
Zero
earplugs
plugs.
to
Gotta
concerts.
do your
Yeah, no, I had like a small version of tinnitus the next day where went to work and someone's like, "Hey, how's it going?" What? Because they went all out and they like brought out actual cannons that
Yeah, for
went off
those
for-
about to rock, right?
yeah. And like they set those off like 20 times during the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't hear shit anymore. That was awesome.
Me and you have been to enough metal shows, and we always stand right next to the speakers. So
Yeah.
eventually we're like, all right, we need earplugs.
Yeah, we would go to like the Summit down in Denver, and like the first balcony is right next to
Oh
the
yeah,
speaker.
it's like right in front of them.
or
the hanging
we'd go
ones.
to the marquee, and then I would sit like front row for a band,
Yeah.
and then slowly move backwards as the night goes on.
As the mosh.
We
gets
went
progressively
to
bigger.
this metal fest at the High Dive called the Semburger. It was like sludge and doom bands, and I wanted a coffee at one point, so I went across the street to Mutiny Cafe, and there's a band called In the Company of Serpents that I could hear perfectly across the street, like not even just kind of like noise, like I heard all their songs.
That's my favorite thing about going to the Summit is like you can hear the sound check from outside. It's like, oh, they're playing that song.
Yeah.
One of my students, their parents actually own Mutiny.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. They're cool people.
I know. I love going down there.
Yeah.
I get a free cup of coffee.
Oh man.
But
What
I
about
grew
you?
up listening to a lot of prog, like
We know.
straight up progressive music.
What?
Like
No.
It's like your dad
the
bred you on that or
first
something.
album I ever remember hearing was Dream Theater, and that's like to this day like my band. Like everyone's like, yeah, I love Dream Theater. I'm like, I love Dream Theater.
I don't think you understand. I fucking love Dream Theater.
Like every time they're in Denver, I go to their show. I pay for like the most expensive ticket every single time. Like, so I listened to a lot of them. I grew up with like a lot of Rush, a lot of like The Who, like all these progressive, classics. And like,
Do you just look at like prog metal or prog in general?
like just both, like
Okay.
prog rock, prog metal, and everything. And like, I grew up with a lot of hair metal too. Like I went through like a huge hair metal phase in middle school because
Same
everyone's
here.
like,
I did too.
yeah, Weezer's so great. I'm like, yeah, but have you heard of Def Leppard? And like
Listen to
8th
Motley
grade,
Crue.
a lot of people were like, yeah, Fall Out Boy, and that's why I decided to get into the death metal. I'm like, have you ever heard of Children of Bodom? And I think the first band that really got me into like this whole death metal craze that I love so much, like I love screams and I love listening to all that, was Opeth, like back in the day. Opeth, before like they slowed down and did a lot of acoustic stuff. And then from there I was like, Opeth is great. And then I listened to Between the Buried Me and Alaska. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Then I found like Meshuggah, Lamb of God, and like Between the Buried Me came back with like super proggy stuff that sounded like the Who mixed with death metal. I'm like, holy shit. And I fell so hard down that rabbit hole. And I took you with me, Zach.
To which one?
Like all like
We've
the
gotten
super
down-
progressive.
Oh, yeah.
the metal hole.
Yeah, I remember. I think
Well,
the
not
first
like-
the first thing you showed me was Dream Theater in high school. I was like, all right, this is pretty cool.
I
like
brought all of my CDs. I had every single CD
Yeah.
by them.
Man.
it. And then in college, you showed me Periphery, and that took me down to the freaking gent and super prog metal.
Gent.
It's not a genre. It's a
Does it
noise.
gent?
The stuff, but does it gent?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm lucky enough to have a coworker that's willing to go with me to concerts too. So if you're not there, I'll go with him.
Nice.
We went to go see After the Burial.
I kind of wish I went to that show.
And he was like, we have to go as soon as they come on, we have to go in the middle and dance. I'm like, all right, fine. Because I like just taking in the music. And then that was like the first time since high school I moshed.
Nice.
And I'm like, there's like this drunk white girl behind me singing all the lyrics that they're screaming. And we're all shoving each other. And then I come out of the venue like halfway through the show, and this dude's like just covered in blood on his face. He's like, I just wanted to see their fucking concert and I broke my goddamn nose. This is bullshit.
Man.
I'm like, oh, we go hard.
God, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Jeez.
But yeah.
So yeah, mine's I listen to pretty much like everything. Like for a while I would always be like stuck on like, oh, I only listen to this stuff, or I think everything else is crap. God, I'm trying. I started with like I remember like listening to a ton of like Good Charlotte and stuff like in middle school,
Fucking gay.
like the emo
Hey, don't
kid
hate.
stuff.
From first to last.
No, I
The
never
River
actually
by Good
listened to
Charlotte
old school
featured.
from first to last.
man.
Then yeah, I think I listened to Children of Bodom before I actually met you.
Yeah.
Like I was like super into black metal for a while.
The
And
guitars,
I, like,
they just went.
yeah, I mean, I was kind of like you, Dan, where I didn't really like electronica and like just hip hop and stuff. Like in the recent years, I've started to actually like appreciate hip hop.
Yeah, same here.
Like I've started to find those certain artists. Like Childish Gambino was like the first one I was like, okay, I actually like this.
Yeah.
And then recently, I've been listening to the new Kendrick Lamar album. I'm like, actually, this is really good. Like,
Yeah.
I think I've started to more like go towards music that's like, all right, does it have a good groove, or like I don't know. It depends on like what you're actually like, what mood you're in.
Yeah.
Like sometimes at work, I just want to like listen to some chill like electronic beat in the background or something, or even just like some smooth like jazz or like funk or something, just something grooving to get me going.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
the
it's
opposite
weird.
of my classroom where I just play angry metal music at the beginning of the day. It's like, all right, guys, it's gonna be this kind of a day today. Let's go.
See, I
Yeah.
feel like I can't do that. I feel like I play anything that's like not. I don't know. I'll like play Max Roach albums, like all like really boring jazz stuff, because they're like, "Is this what you listen to normally?" And I'm like, "No, I want to keep my job, so I'm not gonna play you the song called "Cum Shots" that I listen to on the way to
Yeah.
school." Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
Steve, how about you?
So I've got quite a few actually.
Nerd.
Yeah, I am. Deal with it. So one of them is definitely the electronic genre. I hated electronic music. Still do certain areas, but Lindsay Sterling is what kind of got me over to the. All right, electronic can be decent.
Isn't
at
she a
times.
violinist?
Yeah,
She's a violinist, but she does.
it was like the dubstep
Dubstep
violin. was the
violin.
first
Dubstep
thing that
violin.
kinda,
Okay.
So she's got that electronic music that she has her violin over, and I was like, all right, so it's not just people going wub 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 wub, drop the bass.
I think it was Skrillex that kind of like gave people that idea. Of
Yeah,
just,
that like broy club banger. kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Which again, there is still that genre of the, the EDM festival
yeah.
style of music.
I mean, I
where-
can appreciate some of that. Like, it's
I
it's a
can too.
cool
It is
idea.
a very intricate process to make it, but when half of the performing acts are, they play the music and then hit a few buttons every now and again to mix it up. It's like, all right, I wouldn't pay to go see that.
Yeah,
I'd listen to it every now
that's
and
like
again.
the biggest thing is like, why do you pay money to
Yeah.
go see that? And like
I think
Daft
you
Punk like
mostly go for-
mixes their beats
yeah.
live and shit. I get that, but I don't understand like.
I think a lot of it is like just the experience.
yeah,
Like you're listening to music you'll enjoy, and you're there with a ton of other people that enjoy the same thing.
okay,
So it's kind of like I feel like that's probably why.
probably.
You wanna go to
yeah,
one of
but
those?
again, that's not my scene.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's see, for getting into rock, that was kind of like fifth grade me. Like I was I was a Radio Disney kid. Like, if it didn't play on Radio Disney when I was growing up, I didn't listen to it. Then about 4th, 5th grade, my friend introduced me to a little band called Linkin Park.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not a real rock guy. I listened to it. And I'm like, my whole world has changed. My eyes have been opened.
It starts with one thing.
Aren't those the lyrics like from like Little Mermaid? This is when everything changes.
He's
My
really
eyes are
hinting
open.
he's a Little Mermaid guy.
Probably.
That was what started it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
You've deciphered my code. You know the secret.
We know the origin.
And then another one, like a bigger one, was I didn't like jazz a lot growing up.
Kenny G.
Yes, Kenny G.
Still no
And
one
that's
likes Kenny G.
George Michael, but
Kenny G played it though. Kenny G was a part of that.
I don't know enough jazz to comment.
Yeah.
but what really got me into like going to like jazz and like big band swing was Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Oh yeah.
They played Taste of Colorado years ago. I went with my dad, and after that, I'm like, I think I might like jazz and swing now.
Sweet.
And from there, I was like, all right, got every single Big Bad Voodoo Daddy album.
Nice.
There you
Started
go.
listening to other big band swing.
Like Brian Setzer and stuff.
yeah,
Okay. When I was in swing club at UNC, that's what got me into swing. Not like I ever listen to that now, but it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Something I actually recently discovered was this French thing called electro swing.
Oh yeah.
Where
Yeah.
like I've been all about that recently.
Like Caravan Palace and stuff.
Yeah, Caravan Palace, Parov Stellar.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I listen to that
Yeah.
at school too.
I dig
as
it.
long as it's lyricless.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that's like, ooh,
Yeah, some of the clips they play.
yeah.
Just like, I don't know if I should play this.
Yeah, those are cool though. I like that they'll have like some real janky ass like recording from the
Yeah, like
40s
old school.
with like modern production. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah. Our friend Kira's who really like I was in band, like middle school, high school, college. So I love like jazz and like concert stuff. Like that's what I do to wind down, listen to soundtracks and everything. But our friend Kira showed me the Diablo Swing Orchestra, which combined like 40s big band jazz with metal music. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Man.
Like they did Sing 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 with like really heavy guitar riffs and everything. It's like burn, 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 and you just this really sweet.
You were right. I
distorted
always
noise.
thought Careless Whisper, the sax part, was played by Kenny G. It was not.
just some random sax guy.
Man.
Yeah, sax by Steve Gregory.
Ah, yes, Steve Gregory,
Don't we love him?
the saxiest of all sax men.
He's a sax man. But yeah, Steve, what's your topic?
I don't want to bring us down from that fun talking because mine gets a little heavy and
Do it.
deeper. All right, so
The whole Jedi moral code or Palpatine saying do it 5 times.
Do it exactly once.
So the general thing is, when does a source of media not have a deeper message? And yeah, weird to say it like that, but let me explain. The Diva skin from Overwatch.
I know where you're going with this.
So they released a skin for a video game character, which is her in a Korean police uniform, and then in a mech that is essentially a cop car with guns.
Okay.
Someone took that as they're trying to make a message on police brutality and redrew that character with a Black Lives Matter shirt on.
Okay.
So they essentially took a video game character, a South Korean based video game character in a police uniform, and like that has to be a message on American police brutality.
Is Overwatch made by an American company?
It's made by
Yes.
Blizzard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
So World
then
of Warcraft and all that.
Yeah.
And then came an article that you sent us about Tekken 7, a Japanese fighting game that happened to in previous iterations had a boxing kangaroo as one of the fighters. They took that out because they didn't want the message of animal violence being perpetrated.
But Kuma's still in the game.
But Kuma is because a bear is stronger than a human.
yes.
Which brings up a whole nother argument of, all right, animal activists, you go fight a kangaroo. Let's see how long you last and tell me that a kangaroo
I
cannot
think the
take you in
thing
a
you
fight.
sent me was like they brought up the guy punching the kangaroo.
Yeah, it was
the guy
protect his
in
dog.
Australia.
Yeah, whose kangaroo had the dog was in a headlock by a kangaroo, went up and just socked the kangaroo.
Okay.
And everyone got up in arms and
Which
said death threats
is
to
even
him.
more hilarious because the kangaroo's just like, you fucking what?
Yeah, the
mate?
kangaroo
I will
was
kill
stunned.
you.
He was like, "Are we fighting right now?"
Have you ever
I
seen a
will
kangaroo
eat
like
you.
up close?
Yeah.
They're terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then their kick could kill a man potentially.
I saw some video where there was one just like looking into some guy's house and it was like I know I'm on a podcast
Like baby
right
kangaroos
now,
are adorable, and then when they grow up,
Dan's
it's like,
yeah,
oh
it's
God,
just like
they will murder you.
horrifying.
Like, yes, I can see them taking out the first iteration of the kangaroo because it was a kangaroo with boxing gloves, and then in its pouch was a joey with boxing gloves.
What was that kangaroo movie?
Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo Jack.
Greatest film of all time.
But
And he's rapping.
it made me think of, when do you not associate a message with things? Like, fighting a kangaroo, is that perpetrating animal violence? Or
I
a
feel
character in a cop skin, is that perpetrating, we're militarizing the police force and police brutality? When does it...
Where's the line?
Yeah, where's the line you draw of, all right, now you're reaching?
Yeah, and I feel like it's all just up. Everyone is just so driven by their different personalities over and over and over again that like it's really hard to create something that everyone's gonna enjoy. Like PETA, the whole like they're trying
Everything
to
with
the
Pokemon for
Pokemon Black and
years.
Blue. It's like Pokemon's all about animal violence and you fight animals.
To be fair, you are capturing animals and making them fight for your enjoyment and
But
monetary gain.
the whole thing is like, you know, these animals become your friends and you teach me and I teach you.
And now fight to the death for my amusement.
Yeah, and it's like it's just really hard. And even like things with comics nowadays, people like, yeah, some comics do have a derivative meaning.
Like Miss Marvel, like it's very clear, and even the writer G. Willow Wilson has come out and said, like, yeah, this is kind of like this is supposed to mean something.
Yeah, but like, and even like things like, you know, Batman and Superman, all that jazz, will have comics that directly reference certain things. Like there's the unwritten Tom King's or the unreleased Tom King script where they do a Black Lightning Batman crossover where Black Lightning gets shot by a cop. And, you know, it was during the midst of the whole Black Lives Matter thing. So,
Or
you know,
there's Green Arrow that just shoves it in your face.
Straight
yeah,
up
we're
is-
straight up making political
Yeah.
ties here.
and it's like it's just really hard to like find the boundaries between entertainment and commentary, and I feel like it's just straight up personal interpretation to that degree. Like, you know, I was reading something really funny on Tumblr, like about Tumblr specifically, about like the whole Super Hulock fandom just dying out in 2013 around the time of like DashCon. Like, you know, Super Hulock was like, you know, the thing for Tumblr. That's what it was known for. And it eventually just like disappeared because all these people, you know, started criticizing the concepts of the fandoms and everything, or like criticizing creators, criticizing the thing. It's like the whole you die as a hero, you see yourself become a villain kind of stereotype. And it's like, you know, as something goes on, people are going to find more and more things wrong with it or interpret things differently in a way that not everyone's immediately going to accept. Like, you know, me coming in with my 3 pages of notes about DC Rebirth, and then you guys are like, yeah, it was a great 80-page read. I don't know what you're doing, Zach.
That's it. Like, out of everything, I picked out one pen and I'm like, hey, Ollie and Dinah back together. I'm done. How about you? 3 pages of notes later. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like there's so much out there that can be spoken on that political commentary. And, you know, it's up to the creator to decide really what they want to make out of it. And then the fandom can take things out of control like that.
The out of control thing is, I think, the worst thing, because you and I are English majors, so we can close read bullshit into anything we want
exactly.
all day long. But I feel like with the Overwatch thing, I've not played Overwatch. I like don't play a lot of
I think
shooters,
the reason,
and I don't play online.
just to give you
but-
some perspective, I think the reason people kind of associated with they're making some sort of commentary is the game. One of the creators, Jeff Kaplan, is he's always been very outspoken. Like this game, like these characters, they mean things to people. Like when they announced that one of the characters was gay in what the comics, like that was a big deal to them. They're like, yeah, we wanted to flesh out this world to know that these people exist within this universe.
Okay.
But everybody like lost their damn minds because suddenly their favorite character they couldn't bang anymore.
Okay.
And, you know,
It's
the
like-
fact that like half the characters are horribly handicapped. Like they
It's
lost arms
it's
and
like
legs.
they purposely
and no one
did this
bats
to
an eye.
like kind of promote like some sort of positive message for these types of people that
Yeah.
like
Like
the world is
disabilities
bigger.
don't have to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the world is bigger than your own worldview.
Okay. The only thing that I knew about like Overwatch when it came out was the whole Tracer thing with like she smacks her ass or something, and then people got up in arms, and they were like super pissed either that it happened or that like it got taken out, and that like just ruined their enjoyment of it. And I feel like
Well, it was this
that's
little girl
the problem.
who wrote a letter to Blizzard. Like,
No,
you know,
it was
Tracer's
the
my
guy.
favorite.
It was
The father.
It was the
Yeah.
father. He's like, I don't want my girl who likes playing this game to get the wrong message.
Okay.
Which Blizzard, they had the right idea. They're like, okay, yeah, I mean, we don't. That's not really what we're going for. It doesn't really detract from the game.
In that
like,
same
that's
vein,
okay.
people freaked out that May was too skinny in one of the updates.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, again, the bullshit of the English major. It's like you can read so much into anything. And, you know, the developers are like, oh, no, that was just a glitch. We are not trying to say anything about May's body shape or anything.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
just think you shouldn't freak the fuck out about it because that's what it seems like everybody does.
Yeah.
And then you can't enjoy Overwatch or whatever it
and,
is.
And like I could see if they chose like the American character, made him a cop, and then put in some cheeky thing that was like, yeah, no, this is straight up police brutality. But they chose a 19-year-old South Korean gamer girl.
Yeah. That doesn't
Put
make
her in the cop
sense.
uniform. It's like, out of all of the characters, they chose the little Korean girl instead
She's
of
the most popular character
Yeah,
in the game,
instead-
so give her the really
Second
cool
to Tracer,
skin.
yeah.
instead of the muscular white American character.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I for me, I've always had a pretty good idea of like when something's trying to tell a message. Like going back to the Miss Marvel thing. I know that book is always trying to tell a message, and it's always done in a really clever and really well done way, where it's not like this is a big deal. It's like, no, here's the problems, here's the pros, here's the cons.
Yeah.
This is how we should. Here's an idea of how we could work together on solving this problem here.
Yeah, and you know, some creators outright will tell you. You said G. Willow Wilson. The like latest thing that
I mean, she's
reminds
very
me of that
outspoken.
is the Love is Love, the DC
Yeah.
IDW thing. You know, after the Florida,
The Pulse shooting.
yeah, the impulse shooting. Patton Oswalt's like, I want to create this charity comic where all the proceeds go to
Oh, I don't think I heard
the
about that.
surviving club.
It's on my shelf.
Yeah, it's such a freaking beautiful story. I cried like 3 times.
Yeah,
But like
hits you
it's
in
like
the
2 or
feels.
3 page stories about like all these different couples or these people who have
Or their own-
LGBTQ plus
or their own
friends.
experiences.
Yeah, and it's like just such a beautiful story. You know, it's perpetuating this message that, you know, love is love, all love is the same. And then, you know, someone's like, yeah, this is the first appearance of Harry Potter in the comic book, so I'm going to put this up on eBay for $50.
Man.
Yeah,
Neat.
that happened.
Yeah, it's a 1-page. It doesn't even have any dialogue. It's just an
It's
image.
just Jim Lee drawing a picture of freaking Harry Potter and Dumbledore in the background.
Jeez.
I don't know. But yeah, I think a lot of people take things way out of proportion. Like, you know, do whatever the fuck you want as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. You know, giving a 19-year-old video game character something that, you know, is a cosmetic item, go for it. Like,
It's like that's almost the same thing of when like Genji got the Oni skin. No one was like, oh, they're promoting Satanism now, demons. Like,
I'm sure there was some.
There was probably
some
someone out
religious group who freaked out,
but there wasn't an outcry on Tumblr about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm a big Clint Eastwood fan, and like his Dirty Harry movies have obvious political messages that I really disagree
I
with.
would say Gran Torino is probably
yeah.
the most
I
obvious
don't think
one.
Gran
but-
Torino had any hidden.
No,
But they're like still
That
good
was pretty-
movies.
pretty
You can enjoy
outspoken.
that.
yeah, it's kind of
And-
like our
yeah.
discussion last week of like, can
When
you,
you
like a creator? Can you like a work without really agreeing
associating
with
with the
creator?
creator's viewpoint, because
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood's
Oh,
kind of an
like,
asshole.
he's a shit human being now. Like, he's a
Yeah.
crotchety old man, but like
Still make good movies.
Yeah, I think he's made some incredible films. He's a
Yeah,
good
I don't
director.
agree
He's a
with
great
Ted Nugent,
actor.
but Cat Scratch Fever, man. Yeah.
Or like I said with Mel Gibson, piece of shit as a human being.
Yeah.
Makes a damn good movie.
I don't think you have to like the creators.
Yeah.
I just like that's too much work for me.
It's like I wouldn't want to meet Clint Eastwood, but I'll still enjoy his. I mean, it might be cool to say like, "Oh yeah, I met Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
He is an asshole,"
Yeah.
or whatnot.
And I
but-
guess there's like a limit if like someone is like egregiously like a super fucking terrible person all the time. I'll just like choose not to support their art sometimes, but I don't really have like a standard. Like there's no consistency with that. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or yeah, I mean, there's certain things that I don't really want to support, like the Ghost in the Shell movie. When I heard
Yeah.
how they explain the whitewashing. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go see
She
that.
was Japanese all along.
One, because I don't want to. I'm going to associate it with the original work too much, and I've heard it's just not good.
Yeah.
And that was like the final stand of like, oh, so that's how they explain it. All right, I don't want to support that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel kind of the same way.
All right, Dan, what's your topic?
Oh, I don't know.
You did tell him.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
I did tell him.
He said, "Talk like, what do you want to talk about?" And I was like, "I don't know. I like horror movies and music and comics and shit." so
I think the only
Pick
thing we
one.
haven't hit was the horror movie aspect.
okay, yeah, probably. I don't have like a specific question for that or anything though. I don't know.
I think it was just awesome going to your apartment the first time, your original one.
Uh-huh.
It's like we're watching like The Thing.
Oh yeah.
And
Dude, that
then
was, like, the
you have
worst
like
version of it.
yeah, that was horrible.
Was that
And then
the
it was a
remake?
prequel.
2011 one.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I had such a hard time tracking down that fucking movie because like I spent a year working through John Carpenter films and I was looking for The Thing and I couldn't really find it online. And then my brother's girlfriend got me The Thing from Outer Space, which is like a 50s B movie.
Yeah.
She was like, is that the one? And I was like, well, you tried, but it's not. And then I go to Second and Charles and get what I thought was The Thing. I don't know if I just didn't read the box or what, but it was the remake. And then finally, like 6 months after that party, I got the actual good one. But
Yeah, I remember Grace and I just sitting on the couch and we're like, yeah, this is really bad.
yeah, it was not good.
The remake was terrible.
Yeah.
It was
So
just
I guess
the worst.
here's a question: what draws you to horror movies? Because for me, I'm just always terrified. I can't do jump scares like it.
We're seeing Alien.
Oh, God,
We're watching
I'm looking
Alien
at the
together.
title.
I'm
In the
dragging
theater.
you.
It's like I
It has to
can.
be
I
done.
don't know what it is like in a theater. Like I'll watch like horror movies like on my couch or something sometimes,
Yeah.
but it always like gives me anxiety to think about like, oh God, is it gonna just make me jump the whole time?
Yeah, I don't know. I get some anxiety with shit like that.
That's my
Like that
favorite
movie
part.
Get Out that came
Yeah,
out recently.
I
I
still need
was
to see it, but-
like freaking out the whole time. I was like I had a really high heartbeat even when I got home. But like something to do with that kind of aesthetic of like the magical or satanic or horrific stuff. It's kind of always been the shit that I've been
Dan
into. I think
It's
it comes
confirmed
from
as a satanic pagan.
Yes. Like when I was a
Such a silent
kid, I
vessel.
didn't have cable until I was like 15 years old. And so the only time I would ever see shows that I really liked was at my grandparents' house. And I loved Scooby Doo, like the
Okay,
one
yeah.
from the 60s and 70s. And they live out on a farm. And at my like childhood overactive imagination, as we drove like through the cornfields at night, I would like think of like monsters in the cornfields.
Thank
and stuff.
God you didn't watch like Courage the Cowardly Dog instead.
Oh, I did, yeah. that didn't help at all. But like this was like a real special treat for me to like see this like first piece of horror media, and then as time went on, like the comic books kind of fed that, and the music I got into fed that, and all kinds of crap. So I feel like that's just always been like the stuff I've
You
been
should
into.
Dan
This
Clean Room
niche.
at some point too.
Show me what?
Clean Room.
Clean Room. I haven't seen that.
It's
It's
twisted.
a comic.
Okay.
So it's by Gail Simone.
Okay.
So
It's like
Secret
this
Six Batgirl.
thriller horror esque thing.
It starts with like a reporter investigating a cult, or what she thinks is a cult, but this cult is like secretly like the new version of the Templars, and they're trying to fight demons.
This sounds awesome.
It's
It's
fucking great.
fucking
My
amazing.
favorite panel is this guy's boyfriend gets grafted to a horse, and like
Like
you
in the
see the
shape
top
of a
half
horse.
is a horse, and then you just see his dick hanging out, and it's like, oh, that's so bad.
It's so Gail Simone. Like this is her unhinged.
Yeah, she just goes off the wall. But that thing that you were talking about, having that anxiety, that's like my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not like a thrill seeker. I'm the person that's like, no, we're fucking turning around. Let's leave. I don't like this situation.
So you're the rational person who exists in zero horror movies.
Yeah. I'm the guy
What's
in
that
the.
sound? Let's go check it out. Fuck no.
I'm Shaggy. Yeah, I'm
Like,
just Shaggy. I'm
zoinks.
out. But it's like, it's one of the things, like, I don't do roller coasters, but I love having the anxiety of watching a horror movie because I just don't know what to
There's no
expect. And I'm just
actual
like,
danger
oh
there.
God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Okay,
what's
I
gonna
got a
happen?
question then. That made me think. What is the scariest piece of media, book, comic, movie, whatever, that you have consumed?
Outlast.
Hmm.
The
Oh
video
God,
game
it's so
Outlast.
fucking scary.
I want to play Outlast too, but at the same time,
Right?
I don't.
Yeah. I
'Cause,
could
like,
only play the
that-
original in 20-minute increments.
That, like I can watch a horror movie and I'll get that anxiety, but I'll be fine afterwards. Like all right, just calm down, good. But horror video games are a whole nother level because I'm the one controlling the experience.
Did you ever play Until Dawn?
No, I never did.
It's shit. Who's like the horror director, like the staple horror director for all of those teen movies. I can't remember, but like Until Dawn is like horror movie simulator.
Okay.
And like you play through it and you get that anxiety because you like pick up totems and you can see the future and like you can prevent these things from happening to your characters.
Well, that sounds cool.
And like I would play it in the middle of the night constantly.
Yeah.
Just like that's the way my friend and I would play it together. And I'd go through it and I'm like freaking out. And I'm like, oh God, oh God. And then you learn the entire time it's just one of your asshole friends who's doing everything. And it's like, it's just a prank because you killed my sisters 5 years ago.
God.
Because like they
Just
like
a prank,
pranked her
bro.
sister. One of her sisters ran out of the house. The other sister's like, you guys are assholes. Professor X is a jerk. And then runs after her and they both die and never seen from again. And it's like, well, that's what you guys get, you know, scaring me. And then freaking Wendigos pop out of nowhere. It's like,
Wow.
the fuck is this shit?
Like it's one of those, like, yeah, it was all a prank the whole time, and then the real horror movie kicks in.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Max Landis thing of like you add one small twist to the real world, and that's what creates the highest form of anxiety or enjoyment for the audience. Is that this can happen, and then Wendigos. That's not the scariest thing I've played, but it's like one of my favorite tropes. And like the scariest thing I played was Layers of Fear, because that entire game, there are no monsters. You are
There's
a
very little dialogue.
schizophrenic painter whose wife and daughter left him, and you are tripping out hardcore. Like you look at a wall and then the wall just starts bleeding, or like doors will close and everything behind you.
Jeez.
And like that really kind of like, okay, this is freaking me out. And because it's all psychological, it's all in this character's head, versus something like Resident Evil 7, fucking amazing game, but with monsters.
Yeah, it's like the beginning portion of it freaked me the fuck out, but then as you go through a little later, it gets more into like the action game style. I'm like,
I have a gun, I'm safe
yeah,
now.
it's like I have 3 different guns. Oh no, fungus is coming to attack me. I'm safe. But when you're defenseless, and that's what freaks me out about Outlast.
Yeah, that's
is
the best part.
You're defenseless. You have a video camera with a limited battery supply, and that's all you have to do.
And I think Outlast 2, like part of the game takes place in a school, and I
Yeah.
can't do
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
I
no,
cannot do that.
flashback-y,
Yeah, it's like-
kind of teleport-y.
Yeah.
Like you start in a school, wind up in a satanic farm, and then you just kind of keep going back and forth between the satanic
See, look, we
farm
live
and
in
the school.
Colorado. There are probably satanic farms, and I work in a school.
Which
I can't do it.
Colorado, half the time that's where a horror movie's going to take place. I noticed this starting with Alien vs Predator 2, which takes place in a Colorado
the classic
mountain town.
AVP2.
Well, that's what kind of I noticed. It was they made a point to mention, yeah, this is in a Colorado mountain town,
And
then
The
like,
Shining.
yeah, it's like
Resident Evil.
there are a
Raccoon
lot
City.
of shit.
I thought that
like-
was sort of east.
No, Raccoon City is in Colorado.
I didn't know.
like yeah, you realize a lot of shit goes down in Colorado. Why do they hate us?
Colorado's mysterious.
Yeah.
I'm looking where on.
See, for me, I've always hated horror. Just not really hated it because of what it is. Just I just do not enjoy that feeling of that sense of loss of control.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like I know something's bad's about to happen. I just don't know what it's going to be.
My favorite memory.
It's like I brace myself. It's like I know there's gonna be a jump scare here. I know, and I'm still not prepared for it.
Zach and I went to go see Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
And there's a scene where like
the body,
a body just
freaking-
hits a wall,
Oh, yeah.
and I see Zach jump, and then he just turns and stares at me. It's like I don't want to look.
It's horrifying though. It's a jump scare with no
It is.
like build up.
There's
or anything.
nothing to. It's just out of nowhere.
And that's what I love about the current horror genre is everyone is aware of the tropes.
Yeah.
The music building up to the jump scare. And they use that to fuck with you so
Like there's
hard.
that it goes silent, and then there's like that it's always a different time delay of like
Yeah.
when the thing actually pops out.
And that's what I love about these established tropes is they can use them to mess with you so much.
You know, that's the whole point of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Cabin in the Woods
Great
is
movie.
horror movie trope the movie.
Yeah.
And it's so
Deconstruction of horror movies.
good. Which you still need to see it.
I know, I did.
And it's got to be a movie night because it's so good.
I mean, it kind of ruined me. This is gonna be the dumbest one, but when I was 9, my dad was watching Signs. I sat down. I was like, okay. He's like, this is supposed to be like a scary movie. He's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, okay. And once they finally like showed the alien, I for whatever reason my 9-year-old
Not okay.
yeah, my 9-year-old brain could not like separate that concept from me. It's just like, oh god, aliens are gonna come for me, and it's traumatized me ever since.
I think, as weird as it sounds, Paranormal Activity is what got me into the horror genre.
Really? Okay.
Because every other horror movie, again, they have the trope where the music plays.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there as a little kid with a blanket and be like, oh, they're playing the music. Over the head. Yeah. I didn't see the jump scare. We're good.
And it's done.
But when I actually saw like Paranormal Activity in the theater, I was like, I don't have a blanket to hide under. I have to just take it all in.
Yeah.
It's like, that wasn't bad. That was actually enjoyable.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me, but enjoyable.
I mean, I watched a full playthrough of Alien Isolation too, and that was a little bit scary, but that was like, all right, that's the cool kind of like, all right, you know what this central thing is.
Yeah.
You cannot kill it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to hide, and it was an interesting concept for the whole like defenseless protagonist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else. Get Out. I like that idea because I was into a podcast where Jordan Peele was on it, and he explained his whole like concept about like how he wants to turn. He has like a bunch of ideas for these social horror
social
movies
horrors or social thrillers, or
he called them like social horrors.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's a really fascinating idea. I should really watch this movie.
Yeah. I like his ideas, and Get Out is, God, it's so fucking scary.
You haven't watched it yet?
No,
have
I
you?
still haven't.
Movie night.
I never got to it.
It's
While I was
worth
still in
it.
theaters.
Yeah.
We're going to have so many movie nights.
Yeah, there's so
It
many
was
things.
so funny because I was kind of mostly by myself, but they're like this row full of all these like teenage white girls, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't so bad," and then they walked out of the movie, and it's like, "Oh my god!" Like that was the only thing they said as they walked to the exits.
I walked out being afraid of white people. Whitey's gonna
Then
get
you looked in the
shit.
mirror and had,
Yeah.
had an anxiety attack. It's you.
I was the villain all along.
It was me.
I mean, with the twin, you look at his brother, it's like,
Yeah. God, I have that weird uncanny valley experience
Yeah.
every day.
Talk to another white person like, goddamn white people.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, what?
well, that's how my coworker, like,
Or
he was the
Aaron.
one who sold me on it. He's like, you should watch Get Out. I'm like, why? It's like the goddamn white people, and he's a white teacher. I'm like, all right.
Where it's like Aaron, who unironically is like, I fucking hate white people.
Hate white Starbucks bitches. So how's
can
your
really
unicorn
suck
frap?
sometimes.
Good. All right.
Oh man.
So to wrap things up, we're going to do a quick run around the table again. Recommendations of comics this week, or recommended media of some way, shape, or form. This week, Ben Reilly, The Scarlet Spider #1 came out by Peter David and Mark Bagley. And so it takes place after Clone Conspiracy, which was like the Jackal comes back and he's cloning everyone. He's bringing everyone back to life. The Jackal is actually Ben Reilly,
Okay.
who
shit.
was
a clone?
who was a clone all along. That's the
What a
conspiracy.
conspiracy.
Like he psychologically tortures the fuck out of the original Jackal, because like the Jackal revives him, tortures him to try and find the perfect clone body, kills him like 28 times, and then finally, Ben Reilly just snaps and like goes off on him. And so the whole clone conspiracy thing, you can read it on Wikipedia. I really enjoy that story.
Cool.
So Ben Reilly finds a cosplayer, mugs him, steals his Spider-Man costume. That's how the book starts. And he's in Vegas on top of the Statue of Liberty. He's like, well, it's not New York. But this like version of Ben Reilly after the whole events of Clone Conspiracy, he's like super unhinged. Like we see like his 80s, 90s persona floating around with him, like with the jetpack and everything. Like, this isn't you. This isn't who the Scarlet Spider is. This isn't Ben Reilly. And then, Jackal comes back. It's like, so what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with me? Like it's kind of like the whole Moon Knight thing. You have all these personalities living in your head telling you what to do.
Is he actually insane? Is he not?
Dude, he's fucking insane. Like, holy shit. Like, he goes to a casino and tries to find like the oldest lady possible. And it's like, you're my aunt now. And then like these guys come in to like rob the casino. It's like, don't worry, Aunt June, I'm gonna protect you. And Aunt June's like, fucking shut up. And like he breaks one dude's arm and everything. And then there's like the very beginning after he steals this cosplayer's costume, like he stops him mugging and it's like, God damn it, Spider-Man, and just shoots the guy. It's like, I told you not to call me Spider-Man. You heard me. Tell him not to call me Spider-Man. She's like, yeah, I heard you. And she's like, what can I do for you? It's like, how much money you got? She gives him like 50 and he's like, here's the gun. Keep it in your purse. You live in Vegas after all, and then leaves. I'm like, the fuck is this shit?
Man.
So like, as weird as it is to have Ben Reilly back, you know, the initial shock of like, Dan Slott, you have no decency. Why are you bringing this character back? And then Peter David like making him like super unhinged. It was a really interesting story just to see. And then at the same time, you have Kane, who survived also and is also Scarlet Spider, trying to find Ben and like reconcile in some way or stop him because Ben Reilly almost caused the end of the world.
I mean, no big deal.
My favorite thing is
little things.
this comes from Reddit, from a guy who has like a Scarlet Spider flair. Basically, he's the new morally dubious member of the Spider-Man family. That being said, between the scars and the spider powers, he seems to be a halfway between Deadpool and Parker. I think his arc will be different because Kane's was about coming to grips with the wrongs he had committed, while Ben seems to be more of a mental struggle. So we kind of get this whole like weird Gauntlet-esque fashion of like, who is the Ben Reilly after he's come back to this world. So yeah. Zach?
I'm going to try and sell Dan on Clean Room again because the last issue of, hopefully this isn't the last issue, but it's the last issue of this story arc.
Are there trades that I can pick up?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if, I imagine the last trade will be out fairly soon.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the finale of this whole arc, and everything's been finally revealed by Astrid Mueller, the main character.
Okay.
Of like, all right, this is how we're going to kill these demons. And it's really fascinating because she never reveals her plan until the very last moment as it's happening.
Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, I wanted this to happen because I needed you here so I could execute my plan to kill this giant alien spaceship or demon spaceship. Okay. And yeah, it's so twisted, but it's just so fascinating of like, all right, it's like, and the whole thing at the end is, the main character's like, you have to go tell them that this whole thing was a sham. Like, you can't let this public knowledge go out.
Okay.
And this is to the journalist character. And since she's been kind of like been roped into this whole thing of like, oh, this is what's actually been going on the whole time.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a super twisted finale, and it plays up to the whole storyline. And at the end, there's this whole thing where it goes back to like the very first issue where there's this book that Astrid Mueller wrote that either is supposed to give people enlightenment or drive them insane.
Okay.
So, and the main character is like, when I finish reading it, I wonder what outcome I'll get. So it leaves this a lot of questions. It's like this open-ended closure to the story.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get more people to read it just because if it does well, hopefully there'll be more.
Okay.
Because Gail Simons even says, like, I have more written. We'll see if Vertigo will actually publish it or not.
Okay. I operate like 100% on recommendations for comics these days. I'm just like, I don't know. What do you like?
Since you talked about how much you love horror, like, I feel like it's right up your alley with this grotesque, weird idea.
Sweet.
A lot of penis too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And boobs.
I like that. Yeah.
It's very unhinged.
Just the penis.
Okay.
Yeah, some of my favorite characters in comics as of late.
Yeah, he texts me. It's
Capone.
like he texts me exactly that with no context. I'm like,
I didn't want to spoil the context.
Can't pick up my comics till Saturday, so I'm gonna think about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the art's just great.
Sweet. Okay.
Me now? Go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go X-Men Gold #2.
Is that the one with the weird anti-Jewish?
That was number one. That was the
okay.
anti-Jewish, anti-Christian messages that the artist slipped in there.
Cyclops was right, 2017.
So, coming hot off the heels of that controversy, still solid writing, good art, and they're getting deeper into the not being as forward with their messages, but tying them into the story. Like, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants comes back and kidnaps the mayor of New York. And that caused everyone to be like, yeah, we need to deport mutants. Like, we need to get them out of our country. They're a menace. Like, all right, I can see the political commentary there.
Okay.
Like, that one's not...
That's not pretty on the
That
nose.
one's not tiptoeing around it. But it was solid and enjoy it. I love the art. Sad that the artist went batshit crazy on the first issue and won't be back to do later art.
Okay.
But Guggenheim's still doing some pretty good writing.
Cool.
You know, getting a good story out there, getting you back into these characters, and
Kind of going back to the roots of the X-Men
Yeah.
of what they stood for.
yeah,
Okay.
like bringing them back to like, this is the X-Men. Here are these characters that we want to get this deeper story going on.
And X-Men Blue is like the original team, right?
Yes, the young team of
The
Jean
time
Grey.
displaced ones.
Yeah, Jean Grey, Scott Summers.
Beast
I want to say
and
Iceman's in there.
Beast, Angel, Jean Grey, Scott, and Iceman.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Magneto's their team leader. Wow. And there is a beautiful image from that comic this week because Jean like dipped her head into Eric's head, and it's just this picture of Eric at a concentration camp. It's like, you don't know the horrors I've endured because I'm different. And it's like, damn. And it's completely textless and everything. It's like, damn.
That's
Colin
cool.
Bune. That was
So
awesome.
much emotion on the page.
Sweet.
Yeah. How about you, Dan?
Okay.
What would you recommend to our audience for just anything?
I guess what I've been enjoying recently is 2 Netflix shows. The Mystery Science Theater 3000
that's
revival. I'm not like a huge fan, but I think it's really nice background noise. Like, it's just kind of funny. And like, if I'm sitting there on my computer, it's good to put on my TV. And just yesterday, I guess since we were talking about how much white people suck, the Dear White People show
Oh, did
is
that come out?
really cool. It's like, the message is really good, but it's also like intricately plotted. Like each episode takes place with like a different main character, and it like happens at the same time. So like one
It's like
episode,
Tarantino
yeah,
style
like
of writing.
it's just woven together
Love
really
Actually.
cool. So it's just like
Fuck
Love
Love
Actually.
Fuck Love Actually. The fact that they did a reunion for the Red Nose Day pissed me off. It's like, fuck that movie. You should
We
be
don't like that
ashamed that
movie
you all
on the show.
reunited for that.
I think it's okay.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, dude.
Andrew Lincoln's an asshole. Just that's all you need.
Professor Snape is a bigger asshole.
Professor Snape's the tool. Andrew Lincoln's the asshole.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was
Yeah,
a long
if-
drive, but it was fun.
Yeah, I feel bad. We're going
No,
to
it's
go out
all
for
good.
lunch after this.
Okay.
Let's get some food. If people want to find you, hear your thoughts, and hear
Or
Ghoulies
even,
or anything,
go check out the Ghoulies.
Oh, okay.
you can plug yourself right now.
Okay, yeah. I guess if you look up the Ghoulies or the Ghoulies Denver on most social media, we got an Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have a Bandcamp. We're not the groovy Ghoulies. They're way bigger and cooler than us. We're just the regular Ghoulies. But
And
Haven't gotten the
do you have
groove
like
yet.
a regular venue you guys usually play your shows at?
we play a lot at 7th Circle in Denver, but other than that, you can just find us at like any dive bar around Denver. So, and watch for the tour this July, I guess. I don't know how many listeners in California,
I'll be
and
watching.
Utah, and
you
Arizona
never
you
know.
have, but
We don't know either.
Yeah, maybe our newest listener, Mr. Canada, could spread the
Oh
word.
yeah.
Yeah, we got this really cool dude to talk to us on Facebook. And like, oh God, someone who listens to us
fan
is talking to
fan
us.
interaction.
Oh God, what do we do?
We're not equipped to talk to normal people. We just talk to butt plug enthusiasts.
Shout out to you, Tim. I know you're listening.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. So speaking of next
Yeah.
week, we're gonna be live at Hall of Justice Comics down in Parker, Colorado.
for
We're gonna
free comic book day.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a regular show. We'll play some super fight with some people that we can snag at tables, and just
Maybe
have a jolly
Zach
good
won't
time.
stack the deck this time.
Dude, I don't know. We lost horribly against Thinking Outside the Long Box.
yeah.
They used the power.
They
of
literally
Google.
had every counter to our hands.
Man.
It
But
was so
seriously, though,
frustrating.
on the one card that is biggest Twitter following, they pull out the entire Coachella lineup. How do you beat
That's
that?
bullshit.
It was a bummer. As always, this has been a brand new episode of Z2. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. You can come check us out on the iTunes, the Google Play, the Stitcher Radio. And if you like us, if you love us, if you hate us, don't hate us. You can leave us a review on either of those things. You can rate us 5 stars because we want to give you that 5-star guarantee. Also, we started uploading our stuff to YouTube to make sharing a little bit easier. So you can tell a friend and they can tell a friend, and then we can start a pyramid scheme and it'll be a good time. Or you can check out our Let's Play videos like Overcooked and Pokemon. I think
Yeah, the one Pokemon.
Yeah.
we're
working on worms.
rebooting some of our things because we can't come out with things.
We also don't have enough time to edit everything.
Yeah, having
Editing
jobs.
is a very slow process.
Yeah.
Very slow.
D&D is
D&D episode 2.
exists,
It's almost
kind
done.
of.
We do a D&D thing.
We started it.
Dude, we should play sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Dan is huge in D&D too.
Yeah.
He has like this whole.
I've been
crime
looking at
noir
your
one.
dice over there.
Yeah, dice,
Oh yeah, you guys want to get on my Noir campaign? That's gonna be Dread System, but I
I
need
play
like 1 or
5e.
2 or 3 more people. Like fucking, I don't know. I'll let you know.
So thank you guys again for listening, and thank you, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
Dan the Man for coming. All right, love you, internet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.